So join us for Chapter 1 of Season 2, simply titled Spaceman from Pluto. The year is 1983. Ronald Reagan is President of the United States. Cold War hangs over the country. Summer turns to fall. Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart tops the music charts, and Never Say Never inexplicably rules the box office. And on the west coast of America, the third station of the Loop, a mysterious project belonging to the government's Advanced Research Projects Agency, known as ARPA, stands on the outskirts of a sleepy Californian town known simply as Eden Falls. Though over the last few months, this sleepy town has been restless. Rolling blackouts across the landscape, malfunctioning automatons, illegal development of military technology, and while the culprit behind these events was ultimately arrested, thanks to the efforts of 5 children, students of Jenkins High, mysteries still remain. Mysteries that connect back to the one place that made all of this possible: the Loop. For beneath the 3 cooling towers that stand on the town's edge, within the confines of a military base established in 1962, no one knows what the scientists of the Loop are actually working on. And while the worldwide efforts of their research are felt, from fully electric vehicles to the elimination of fossil fuels for clean, efficient energy, their true research and developments remain a mystery. But for most in Eden Falls, these unknowns are of little concern. The blackouts have stopped, machinery works as it is meant to, and everyday life has resumed. And as the school year came to an end and the summer holiday rolled on by, most forgot about the events of March 1983. But not everyone. Some still look for answers. But as the months have worn on, those who know the truth behind what happened have been harder and harder to find. Because just as life moves on, so too do people. And those who seek closure find themselves more and more alone. But with a new school year, there come new faces. New arrivals, new friends, and potentially new allies. And while these individuals are yet to meet, in time these new bonds of friendship may come to decide the fate of Eden Falls, even as it continues to stand in the shadow of the Loop. And we start on a chilly October morning. The hum of streetlights beginning to fade across the town, as block by block the town dims to relative darkness. Long shadows stretching across the streets as the sun rises in the horizon. And through the upstairs window of an unassuming suburban house, moving across the room, the first rays of the morning light briefly reflect off a pair of round glasses that sit proudly atop a pile of books on a bedside table, before trickling their way softly across a heavy duvet and onto the face of a stirring individual. Becca, would you like to describe Amelia Oliver for us, along with the room that she wakes to?
In her absolute mess of a room, covered with book piles, it feels like, if you don't take a moment to really take in the scene, that it is chaotic. But as you look deeper, you see organization by titles, alphabetically listed, each in their own spot, and pressed at least against the walls, creating clear pathways to move around this space. Very simple, nothing else in decorations, just exactly what she wants to see, and always well within reach. As she sits up a little bit, dressing, putting on her favorite sweater for this cool weather, she pulls her hair back in a very quick and messy fashion, long, thick black hair tying into 2 buns atop her head. So that way they're out of her way. She always has a lot to do, and she always has her hands holding something, books, pens, paper. So she doesn't need anything else to stop her. Those rimmed glasses, heavy on her face, dig deep into the side of her nose, kind of pushing them up. And they always sit right on the top of her cheeks every time. Her round, adorable face just kind of framing and mirroring the circle images of the glasses themselves. Always having to take them off from time to time, though, especially with this weather. The morning fog just gets to it, and one of those little annoying things that gets to her. Right, one more thing, one more thing. What else do I need? What else do I need? And she'll reach over and pull from just a little mug of a variety of pencils, all various colors, some with red, pinks, blue. Pluck one out and stick it into her hair, just into one of those buns, so she's ready to go for the day.
As you do so, you feel a strange bopping on the pencil you've just put in, and looking up to one of the nearby shelves, you just see just bopping at you as your cat Potts sits there, almost knocking over the plethora of books that you have on just one shelf in your room.
No, Potts, get down from there right now. You don't know. You're going to fall. Just jump to me. And Amelia, being as short as she is, she can't really reach to that top shelf very well. And that cat just toys with her. This idea, just calm down.
Can you make a charm check for me, please? You only need one. You only need one success, but
Okay.
yeah.
Let's see how this goes.
First roll.
Potts looks at you, and then, after considering whether to knock a book off the shelf, just and jumps down into your waiting arms and just curls up and just immediately pressing themselves into you, just purring against your chest. Just...
I know, you're a very spoiled little boy. I'm getting in all the books. Just don't tear. She'll kind of hold him up a little bit, like Simba. Don't you dare tear up any of my pages while I'm gone. You be good, okay? And she speaks so close, like their little noses are touching in this moment. I love you to death. Be good as always, and I'll be home soon, I promise.
And he sort of wriggles a bit and jumps down and immediately begins to curl up on the bed as outside the light of the morning sun continues to rise in the distance. What are you doing with your morning?
After setting down Potts, she'll quickly just take the top few books off of the latest pile. You can see in various sizes and colors, some on fantasy, some biology, even a kid's guide to tabletop role-playing games as well. She stuffs that in, the must-reads of the season as she prepares for her classes, slinging that bag over her shoulder. It kind of slumps a little bit, and you can see the physical weight as she now curls her back, knowing that this is going to be terrible for her spine year on, but that's fine. We'll live with that. Glasses now affixed, shoes slipped on, not even stopping for breakfast, right? The rest of the household quiet at this point, not really wanting to engage anyone. She stops by a door on her way out, just to open it and peek in, seeing a sleeping little sibling all tucked in, I hope, in their blankets.
And as the door just creaks open, you see that on its surface, softly knocking against the wood of the door, as always, small clay sign, the evidence of at least 2 pairs of very young hands buried in its face, even underneath messily applied paint and glaze, that simply reads the word June. And as you look in at the room, you see that everything, in comparison to your own, is neat, tidy in its place. If it were not for the colour, it would almost feel sterile. And the shape in the bed, wrapped up warmly in covers, breathes gently, softly, and still. she is quiet.
Just the slightest whisper escapes Amelia's lips. I love you. I'll be home soon. And she'll very gently close that door and sneak her way out into the city, or the streets.
And as you do, you notice that on the kitchen table as you head on down, there is a small brown paper bag on which there is just a single, very hastily written note that says, I made your favorite. Have a great day. Mum. There's a small X at the bottom of it as well as you grab it and you step on out. And what does your house look like, Amelia?
It's cozy. Nothing fancy, clearly older. It probably needs a good scrubbing, power washing along the siding. The tiles on the roof, a little bit old, a little mold as those heavy branches hang over it. But the landscaping is gorgeous. Every plant, you can tell, has a particular spot. Even though we're not in spring, the colors still are vibrant with leaves of red and green, all picked out so that way, no matter the season, it feels curated. It feels refreshing and living.
And as you look out at this landscaped outside, the garden in front of your house, you see bathed in the dark blue of the outside air, a familiar figure, wearing heavy pair of dungarees and large gloves, currently repotting a number of plants that sit around the grass out front. What does your father, George, look like?
He would like to think that he has thick black hair, but up at the front, plenty of white and gray has begun to appear, especially right along the right side as it trickles in. Something that he occasionally tries to hide by wearing a hat, but it's apparent every time he smiles, and you can see it, just the joy of having his hands in the dirt, the wrinkles that appear right around the edges of his eyes, those little crow feet. You can tell he gets so much joy of just being active, of being there, seeing what he's created grow and be alive. It's a moment of peace for him. His morning routine every single time. Short in stature, a little plump cheeks like his daughter. And he finds himself like his own little small shrubbery of a man in his own garden.
And as you see him, he sort of turns around, hearing the door, and it is quiet on the street. Quiet, save for the small radio that he has set next to him, which is currently playing, from the sounds of it, very quietly, piercing the air, the news. And he turns it down a little bit as you approach, and looking up at one of the upstairs windows, the room next to yours. Morning, Poppet. How's she doing?
Still sleeping. So that's good.
Yes.
Uh,
And how are you, darling? You all right?
Yes, awake, ready to do whatever all the things of school and getting everything underway. I've got all the books that I need today, and she'll start pulling. Oh, never mind.
Amelia,
Yes.
you can breathe.
Right.
All right. Breathe.
Breathe. Sorry. Of course. Breathe.
All right, darling.
Anyway, it'll be a good day. What are you working on? What plant?
Well, I'm currently looking at repotting these tulips. My mother sent some more across, and it's quite nice to have a little bit of home with us. So tulips over here, and I'm thinking potentially planting some sort of lilac over there. Oh, by the way, before I forget, your latest round of newspapers has been dropped off. I put them around the back for you.
Already? I thought I got up in time for that. I'm so sorry. I'll go. I'll put it all together.
No, it's fine. It's one big stack ready for you to throw out and do your. I don't really understand it all myself.
No. It's the delivery of it all. I roll them into papers and then I throw them. It's common. Every kid does it.
Well, I won't stop you, but you coming straight back home later on?
Of course.
Lovely. Well, I was thinking of trying my hand at cooking, but we'll see how that goes. We might have to defer to your mother in that regard.
Your grilled cheeses are always fantastic. I do love those.
Yes, one thing I've learnt living in America. Anyway, I'll see you later, Bobbin.
Sorry.
He sort of gives you a handless hug as he just like wraps his very dirty hands and just gives you a squeeze and, all right, love you.
And she'll kind of sneak off, still trying to maintain the quiet and the calmness that she's supposed to embrace in the morning, but a little worried that she thought she woke up in time before it got there so that way her dad wouldn't have to deal with it at all, and sees the stack of papers and begins opening up, rolling them up separately and sticking them into the basket. This adorably large bicycle, just beautiful framework, smooth and fluid, with, of course, at the front, a nice little horn, and along on the inside of the rooms, we have those trinkets. So as she rides by, it makes that clicking sound.
And as you're rolling up the newspaper, you hear the soft sound of your father's radio as he turns it up once more, and accusations of collusion continue to be levied against Mayor Gina Hirsch, whose rumored ties with Robert Logan's criminal activities in March of this year have seen her poll numbers plummet in recent months. Meanwhile, hunters are being advised to take extra precautions as deer continue to be found mauled around the Eden Forest area. While experts have not ruled out mountain lions, this unusual activity, and at this point, your father picks up the radio and begins to move further on down the garden. And your papers are ready as you pile them on the back of your bicycle. And where do you go?
Just starting straight down her street, a little tune in her head everywhere as she recounts and is sing-songing just the latest things that she read the night before. And she'll go through seeing each of the houses for 19, for 21, and she'll kind of throw them. She's not particularly athletic, so they're not making it anywhere near the doorstep. Most of them are happily just in somewhere of the right lawn at this point, probably picking up a little bit of the morning dew, but the effort at least is there, and she keeps chugging along, unbothered necessarily about where she's throwing them, but more focused as she continues to get lost in her head, making just the straight lines and the rhythm of throwing it go one after another, as she keeps going through mindlessly of this movement.
And as she does so, the sun continues to rise. Pinpricks of orange light tracing their way up the walls of each of the buildings you pass and you ride through town. And as you ride, you see the familiar sight of Eden Falls lighting up before you, moving down the hill that your street is built upon. You see the incline. You see the town moving out to the coast. You see, in the distance, the town square, the town hall, and Eden Falls Mall, this giant modern structure, and the library, and beyond this, the beach, and the pier with the amusement mile on. And out in the far distance, out to sea towards the Pacific Ocean, you see also the ruined remains of 3 oil rigs. 2.5 is perhaps more accurate, owing to an accident that happened sometime before you moved to Eden Falls. But halfway through your run, as you pass one of the many houses, you see a tall woman stood outside on the porch, carrying a steaming mug of coffee that reads "Best Mom Ever," just as she does every morning you make this run. It is almost routine, this small, distant but silent interaction between you both. And throwing the paper over your shoulder rather, you ride off down the street towards the center of town. The woman bends to pick it up. It's fallen a little short of the porch as she tucks it under her arm, and she gives you a wave before going inside. And as you ride away, and the door closes behind this woman, she takes a sip of her coffee, and gently places the newspaper down on the kitchen table, where it joins piles of other paperwork. Brown folders and official paperwork, much of which is redacted with heavy black highlighter, and all of which are stamped with the same letters, ARPA. And she stands there for a moment, staring at one file in particular, to which there is attached a photo. A single picture of a small, innocuous object. A black box. Picking it up, she stares at it for a while before, after another sip of coffee, she closes it and places it inside a nearby briefcase before heading up the stairs and coming to a door on the upstairs landing. Nico? You up yet? And as the knocking and the voice of your mother reverberate softly through the door, Gabe, would you like to describe for us Nico and the room he is in?
Yeah. Nico is like pretty much average height. Just it seems like he's still finally getting the tail end of his growth spurt. He's got side shaved hair and almost like that like pompadour kind of look, but with a little bit more of a pointed fro. He wears a lot of black because it doesn't get stained if you get oil or anything else on it. And as he gets up, he puts on his signature red jacket, leans over to his desk and puts his glasses on and yeah, I'm awake.
And the door just opens and your mother's face appears in the crack. And what does your mother, Meredith, look like?
Meredith has big curly hair. She's definitely using a curling iron in the morning. And this woman works out. Like it is clear that she is strong. She will never ask for help, but Nika would always offer it just in case that she needed it. She is standing almost 6 feet tall, soft brown skin. Her nails are beautiful, filed, done, taken care of. There's a nice white border around the edges so you still get the natural color, but it just highlights them. She's wearing what looks to be like kind of a soft pastel dress. And there's a clipboard in her hand. It was clear that she was doing some research. And she's looking around his room, seeing the blueprints on the wall, dozens of books. There's a patch of his wall that has like foam or rubber just attached to it. And you can see what looks to be a whole bunch of circuitry and wiring, little batteries, and a couple different leather gloves scattered around. She also would see the Spider-Man comics on his bed that he fell asleep reading last night.
She takes a look around this, and seeing the very bleary face that is still on the bed, she just, would you like some breakfast, maybe?
Breakfast would be impeccable. Yes, please and thank you.
Impeccable, okay. Would
I learned that one.
Would you also maybe like some coffee?
Yeah. And can I don't need sugar this morning. But yes, cream please. Cream please.
She looks around at the scattered comics and just nods. No sugar. Right. And sort of slowly backs out and closes the door behind. And I have been informed we have reached our first supernatural event.
That's great. I was hoping it was going to happen while Becca was talking.
So, Nico, what is your morning routine?
I get up, I do a couple push-ups and squats because a healthy body means a healthy mind. I write down any of the ideas that I was dreaming about. Last night was kind of like Tony Stark's blasters, and I start to wonder how, when I was doing research about like tasers, if it'd be possible to recreate something like that. So I sketch little quick schematics, probably for like 2 minutes, close my journal, put it to the side. I check where the sun is. I check the humidity and the temperature. I make sure everything is like either back under my bed. Whenever I wake up, I clean up the mess from last night. And then I grab my notebook. I grab my bag. I do a couple more stretches. I look in the mirror and I repeat my affirmations. I can do anything that I choose to, but I get to choose it. And then I'm ready.
And as you do this, you say your affirmations. As you're pacing around your room and looking at the blueprints and sort of out the window, you see just off in the distance a bike disappearing into the horizon.
Wow.
But rather closer to home, on the outskirts of your street, stood behind a tree. It is hard to make them out. The light of the morning is still low. The glow of the sun's rays has not quite reached this corner of the town, but someone has stood, and they are watching your house.
I wave.
They do not respond.
Oh,
They
that's
just stand
weirder.
there.
I'm gonna pull up my telescope. I'm gonna set it down and see if I can get a better look. Having to
Can you-
adjust and fiddle with it since it was aimed for the stars.
Can you make an investigate check for me, please?
Sure can. I mean, I'm gonna wear my real glasses so I can see. Those are not prescription. You said investigate?
Yes, please. You, well, we'll see how many successes you get, and,
None.
none. Okay, so this is a good moment to say that for those of you who are new to watching, our players can choose to re-roll. This is pushing a roll. However, if you were to do so and were to fail again, you would take a condition. So that is an option if you would like to re-roll.
Yeah, let's
Or-
take a condition.
Okay, so
What's the worst thing that happens? I get the condition scared because someone was watching my house?
yeah.
We're gonna find out.
Look, I don't need nothing. I can do anything that I achieve to as long as I achieve to and choose to. So I'm gonna roll again. Alright, so I roll again?
Yeah, you can roll again.
Why are you saying it like that, Ed?
Do it. Do it. I believe in you.
No successes!
As you
You do have
steady
two blesses.
yourself-
Just so you know.
Okay.
You can't use them on a reroll, but yeah, just so you're aware. If you look in the Discord.
So, Nico, as you bring out the telescope, you find that your grasp is shakier than usual as you feel yourself repeating your mantra. You can do anything. And you look through, and the end of the telescope just dunk against the glass of your window, and you instinctively pull back. As you look through again, the figure is gone, and the other side of the street is empty.
This is fine. There are studies that say sleep deprivation can lead to hallucinations, and it is a totally reasonable. I need coffee. Mom,
Coffee downstairs!
I'm soon me too! And Nico just goes downstairs immediately.
So, Nico, what does your house look like as you descend the stairs to the kitchen below?
It is a very dark brown, red, little bit of gray sort of wooden house. It seems like it was built by the person who owned it before, and then his family was just fortunate enough to move into it. The person who built it was clearly a bit of a doom prepper, because there are like not necessarily like wild locks, but you don't usually need a padlock on the basement door if there's no other entrance to the basement. Plus, usually you'd want that on the inside, not the outside. Just very complicated. It's a very weird situation. But there are adornments of different like artwork that the father has done. There are like a variety of books. There's actually even like a little bit of a study room where there's a mix of science fiction novels as well as like scientific journals. There is an office that his mother and father share that he doesn't go into because it's potentially things that he does not have the classification to see. And then there's the kitchen that has a little bit of an island where usually his parents sit around, talk and laugh, and Nico will often sit on top of the island between the two of them, kind of just talking about not even just hopes and dreams, but hopes and goals, because it's all achievable. It doesn't have to be a dream.
And as you come down, and almost as soon as you sit down at the island, there is a thunk mug just placed immediately in front of you, full to the brim, little bit of cream just colouring the top. And similarly, a whole bunch of cereals are laid out. And you see that there is an unusual amount of mess on the table. You see mess of paperwork and brown files all laid out, all of which seem to be personnel files, each of which are filled with paper-clipped headshot-style photos, many of which have post-it notes attached to them with scroll notes from your mum. And even as she starts to put out cereal, your mum just sort of starts to collect them up and, sorry about the mess, still getting used to the new team and trying to learn everyone's name. And she just starts putting them into the briefcase and pushing cereal towards you.
Has it been a good time? Do you feel like you're fitting in well? I'm proud of you.
Thanks, sweetie. Yeah, it's okay. They, I don't know, I think they're getting a lot tighter with the new arrivals. They had some difficulties. I don't want to bore you. They had a lot of difficulties at the beginning of the year, and I think they just want a good, tight, efficient team. And as this is happening, you can hear a slight murmuring from the other room, and you can hear through the wall your father's voice, clearly on the landline, and your mum just sits down and, but it is sweet of you to ask. How about you, love?
I'm good. I'm a little nervous. Why did we move to a place that shares the same name as a place in the Bible?
Yeah, I suppose it is, ominous, but,
What if they don't like me? Mom, I'm a weird kid.
well, you've been fine so far, right?
Yeah, but that's because you taught me how to handle situations under pressure.
I taught you, but you learned, and you know,
Yes,
you put those into action.
that's true.
Right?
There's like, I met some cool kids too. There's like this one kid that I think she just needs to be loved. There's a really nice girl who has like a passion for books that feels admirable in a way I've never seen. And I also met, I think, the coolest dude I'll ever meet in my life.
Well, I meant to ask, actually, the girl with the books, is she the one who does the paper run?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so, I see her doing the room most mornings. She seems sweet. She seems nice.
Why did you only talk about her specifically? Why are you making that face?
I'm not making a face.
That's why did you start speaking so low? Why?
No, I'm not. And as this happens, you hear the murmuring in the next room stop as your dad comes out. And what does your father, Luther, look like?
Luther is, I'm just gonna say it, Idris Elba. like
I would
there's-
like to date your dad. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it. There's like no other way. It's like
no!
Idris Elba, round glasses though instead, and he is wearing like loose dress shirt with a black vest, black pants, nice shining shoes. He's got a gold necklace that seems to have like some sort of insignia on it with like words written on the back that are just imperceptible unless you turn it around. He's not as buff as mom, but he's still buff, but not as buff as mom. Mom wrecked dad in a minute. Don't be weird.
You feel a pat on your back as your dad just sits down and leave enough coffee for me.
Always. And then I like look at mom. Did we leave enough coffee for dad?
Almost like clockwork, she immediately puts it down on the table in front of him, and then clocking the time, just immediate. Oh, okay, boys, I've got to go. I love you both. Have a good day at school. Have fun today. Love. Don't work too hard. Love you, Mare. Okay. Okay, bye. And she just kisses you on the head, and immediately collecting all of her files, just heads on out of the front door.
Hey, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you something, and then you gotta promise not to freak out?
Well, it depends what it is, but sure, yeah.
Okay, so you know how you said to like, we tell each other everything even when we're nervous about it.
Sure, yeah, unless you think it's weird and growing up stuff, in which case we don't always want to know.
No,
Yeah,
no,
sure.
Dad, this isn't puberty. It's not.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, then hit me. Yeah.
Stereotypical. Anyways, I
already went through that. I don't.
yeah, Dad, you have a teenager. You've more than gone through it.
Yeah, no, I know. I didn't plan this far ahead, but
You didn't. Wait, I was
I'm kidding.
unplanned.
Oh, come on, give me. What is it?
I think I saw someone watching the house this morning.
How do you mean?
I looked out the window and there was someone staring at the house from behind a tree when I woke up.
They're there now, and he steps and heads towards the kitchen window and just.
I didn't see him. I waited until they left to come downstairs because I was worried that something would happen if I stopped watching. But I don't think it's because of Mom's work, but I don't know, and I didn't want to tell her right away, and then she got worried because Mom's really smart and really strong, but a little scary when she's worried about us. So I wanted to tell you because I didn't want to not say anything.
Do you want me to not say anything to your mom?
I don't know, but and then Nico would like describe where he saw the person, and like, but I think I'll leave it to you, and I trust your judgment, and then we should tell her when she gets home so that we don't hide anything from her, because we don't hide anything from each other, but I want to make sure that you two are okay and safe, because I gotta take care of you.
Just looks at you with this real sense of goddamn, like, he places his hand on your shoulder and so you just went ahead and skipped all the weird growing up stuff and you just full on, you're like a little adult now.
I had a good reference.
He just pours out a little bit more coffee and... So, you need a lift to school or are you gonna make your own way?
Yeah, I'd like a lift for school. Also, can I have the sugar? I was trying to look tough when Mom made the coffee. This tastes terrible.
Yeah, no, it really does. Come on, here we go. And he
Okay.
just immediately like...
Oh,
And-
God.
Is there anything else that you want to do before you leave for school this morning?
My dad and I definitely have like a secret handshake. It's like ridiculous, but it's what we do if we're both home before we leave. It's like our good luck handshake. It's like we fight the world until night comes down, and then we never forget where we came from. Yeah. And I think it's something that he did with his dad when he was young. So it like passed on to me and him. And it's never been weird, it's never been ridiculous. It's always reassuring because Nico feels like his parents are the sun and the moon. No matter what, one of them is there, and he's lucky when he gets to see both of them at once.
And your dad enthusiastically doing this handshake with you in full view of the rest of the street, which themselves all slowly begin to pile into their electric cars and go to work. He ushers you in and you drive off. And as you drive through familiar streets that you've seen through car windows and bus windows countless times, you drive deeper and deeper into the center of Eden Falls, until eventually you come to a street where you see a row of yellow buses ahead of you. And your dad begins to slow down as all around you on either side there is the usual throng and crowd of students all around. And as you slow to a stop, your dad just looks over to you. All right, you gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Okay.
Also, can you tell Mom that I don't have a crush on the paper girl?
Well, I can try, but I don't know. You're the one who's been broadening her horizons with all of those. What was it? The Jane Austen stuff?
Where'd it go?
Okay, cool. See ya. Bye. And as you step on out, pulling up to this beautiful open car park, you see the circular patch of grass in its center with its white flagpole, and beyond it, the school building. The flat-roof two-story building sits atop a familiar grass slopes and a set of sandstone steps running up towards this multi-doored entrance, above which are carved the words Jenkins High School, into a giant white arch, and through which crowd innumerable students, and the leaves on the trees and bushes that surround the school are as orange as the decorations that emblazon it, as in almost every window you see streamers, paper pumpkins, and large banners hanging down displaying ghosts, witches, and skeletons. Halloween is coming, and the throng of students move forward, wrapped in warmer coats and the odd scarf, even under the Californian sun. There is a cool breeze upon the air, and dry leaves are crushed beneath the footfall. And here and there, kids can be seen frantically finishing paperwork and homework before the first class of the day. Others are trying to sneak unnoticed cigarettes. A few can be heard listening to music over the din of the crowd, while all around them, they are moving inexorably towards the entrance. And Nico, can you make a very quick body roll for me, please? Body or move, whichever you would rather.
Do a body roll.
You only need one success.
No!
No!
You can
have
use a bless
blesses.
to reroll if you would like.
Yeah, let's do
Well,
it.
it's not a bless to reroll.
Yeah, this
it's
is an
just a
extra
reroll.
die.
Yeah.
Can you add it? You would need 2 blesses for a success. However, I do want to let you know, each one of us has 2 curses, which has to come before any successes.
Ah!
So if you get a success, it's already a 0. If you get 2 successes, that's a 0.
Each of us has 2 Who cursed us? Who did this?
We do not
Me.
Don't drag
divulge
people out
names.
like that. Come on.
The people of chaos, the people want what they want.
I haven't succeeded at anything. My parents
Yeah.
are bullying me into liking a girl. Some weird man's watching my house.
Would be
My
nice
dad
if we
knows
had
that I
more
like Jane
curses, you
Austen.
know? That'd be
I
silly.
haven't even woke up yet, and I'm already cursed.
It's funny you should say that because as you turn, you are very briefly clipped by a bike as a horn just sounds out as Amelia, you fly by towards the bike racks and you sort of careering off center just because of the sheer amount of bodies all around you. You stop just in front of the school as Nico, you see the other new kid from school, Amelia Oliver, just screech into position nearby.
Sorry.
100%. Nico has a Walkman, and it's playing like "Jump" by Van Halen. So it's like do 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 as she like careens into him, and there's both like a sense of like I fell, and like maybe a little bit of like, am I falling? No, I was in the way.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And she kind of jumps off her bike very quickly, leaving it just kind of collapsed on the yard of the school. And so let me help you. And she'll lean over and try to help lift you up. I didn't damage your Walkman, did I?
No. Plus, I could fix it if I had to.
Of course you can.
You
can
didn't.
figure anything.
No, your books are okay, right?
Oh no, they're fine. Plus, they're a bit raggedy already. Plus, I love worn books. You know, the pages turn a little bit easier like that. They're fine. And oh, my bicycle! And almost absentmindedly, she scurries over, thinking like, I can't just leave it there. As she tries to move through. I'm just trying to pick this through the crowds of people now, working through as she tries to find herself. Where's the bike rack?
I think it's over there.
Where? She like standing on her toes, trying to see over people. Where?
Make an investigate check for me. You
Oh, good.
require, considering your height, 2 successes. I will say.
Okay. Perfect. Two successes.
Yeah.
Wow, those are nice zeros you got there. Ooh, that would suck.
So I'll
But
eat
it
those
does mean your
curses.
curses are done.
As
You can
Amelia
reroll.
Where?
As Amelia stands on tiptoes, you hear a voice from behind you. As an individual familiar to you, Nico, appears. Hey, you looking for the bike rack? And turning around, you see a flannel shirt flapping loosely in the breeze as aviators frame an olive brown complexion that is almost, so the glasses are almost falling off as Artie King dashes towards seemingly Nico, but seeing your current predicament, it's just over there if you need. Hi, I'm Artie. Nico, can I grab you a moment?
Yeah. But yeah, the bike rack, it's over there. So
Fine.
I'll see you later, Amelia.
Feeling kind of shoved off, she'll take her bicycle, trying to figure out where that general direction is.
Sorry, did I get in the way? Did I make something very awkward? I'm real sorry. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Artie. I'm good.
Okay, so, real strange question, I gotta rush. What do you like to drink?
Cream soda.
Cream soda? Cool. You ever been to the Amblin Diner before?
The I don't know if I can say that on Twitch. The what diner?
The Amblin Diner. It's this kind of 1950s place, kind of near the center. Look, basically, I have an out-of-school project I need help with, and it's and he sort of like moves to one side and leans in a bit. It's a bit of a secret for now, but if you're free this afternoon, I'd really appreciate talking about it with you specifically.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, is this how I sound to my parents? This is about
like-
a girl, right?
No. Although there is someone I want you to meet. But I'll see you at the diner later. We can meet there after school if that works with you.
Yeah, sure. Alright.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, I'll see you later. And he just immediately sort of like hopping and skipping a little in place, just turns and runs into the crowd, disappearing.
He's not gonna try to get me to like smell grass, right?
Lost in this thought, as we pan up from the horde of heads and bags and past the top floor of the school, where a student can be seen halfway through graffitiing Principal Hughes can go on one of the blackboards. The flat roof of Jenkins High is home to many eclectic items. Soda cans, empty pens, bags thrown by bullies, half-deflated footballs. But amongst the discarded rubbish and the raised metal vents, leaning against one of the several red brick fire escapes atop the building, a solitary figure looks down on the crowded students from on high. Justice, would you like to describe Drake Lee for us?
Sure. Drake is a 6'1" jock. He's relatively fit. He's got olive skin, tousled hair down to his shoulders. He's a bit of a loner. He likes sports, but he has a lot going on in his life, and so sometimes that makes him a little abrasive to people. He's very focused and dedicated to his tasks at hand, but he needs to get away sometimes, so that's why we're up on the roof, just people watching and enjoying the view where we can be alone to our thoughts.
And can you make a comprehend check for me, please?
Sure thing. Let's see how I do this.
Remember, we're burning through curses here, folks.
Oh, yes.
Wait.
Comprehend. Okay. And submit. Did that work? Oh, it did.
Okay.
So
So,
sorry.
as you look out,
0 success.
nothing in particular strikes your fancy. And often, when you're up here on the roof of the school, nothing does. That's not the reason for this place. You take in the crowds below, the yellow school buses now parked outside. You see cars moving through the town to their respective places of work. You see the Ferris wheel off in the far, far distance on the pier. And over to your left, towards the east, you see Eden Forest. Far, far away from the town itself, and beyond even this, the 3 cooling towers topped by thin neon light. The cooling towers of the Loop, ever present. But as you look towards Eden Forest, a place you realize you've not been in some time, you smell something on the air. It is not an unfamiliar smell. It is cigarette smoke. But what is unusual about it is rather than the distant smell you usually receive when you are up so high, is it is close. It is very close.
Someone up here. I'll walk away from the fire escape towards wherever the smoke is coming from, or wherever I can tell the smoke is coming from.
You see a small plume of smoke coming from another fire escape a little further down the building. They sort of pop up at various intervals across the flat roof, but it is fairly clear. But the culprit is, however, hidden.
Okay. Are they moving, or are they just coming up in the same spot?
Observing, they appear to be still.
Okay. I'll approach cautiously and try to peer over around the corner, wherever, to see who it is and see why they're in my fortress of solitude.
Can you make a sneak check for me, please, to see
course.
if this goes undetected?
With my 6'1" body. 0 success.
Okay, so as you come round the corner, your eyes immediately meet theirs. And there is a "Ah!" and the cigarette immediately drops to the ground as you see your science teacher, Mrs. Sparrow, slightly shorter than you and wearing a long yellow skirt and matching orange cardigan, the sun bouncing off her dark features and her short black hair as she just sort of backs away a little bit. Oh my god, oh, Drake, I'm sorry I didn't see you up here.
No worries. I thought it was a kid, so I'm glad that no students are smoking. Glad it's just you. What are you doing up here?
This bad habit I picked up from my husband. He tries to hide it from me, but I have eyes and I can smell. What are you doing up here?
Just waiting for the day to start, you know? I needed to get some fresh air, which was a little tainted this morning, so, no, just kidding. Yeah, I was just trying to get some fresh air before class started today. It's a big day.
She sort of leans around you, looking at the propped open fire escape you came from, and just... You jimmy that open?
Not today.
Okay, I won't tell if you don't tell.
Cross my heart.
Okay. So, how are you?
I'm good, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine, I guess. You know, just trying to get by with my classes. I mean, your class is one of my favorite classes, so that's always a good time. It's just, you know.
Don't have to say that just because you caught me smoking. Drake.
No, I'm serious. I really do like your class.
Okay.
I struggle with, you know, some of the other ones, which is hard. But that's not your problem. You got papers to grade. I should probably get going before.
I'm here to listen if you need.
Okay, well, you know, I don't know since you do science, but what is it with English? Why are there so many rules for things and participles and adjectives and pronouns and adverbs, and it just doesn't make any sense. Why can't it just be simple?
You find equations easy?
Yeah, of course. It's just 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah,
But
sure.
there, and there are all the same thing. That doesn't... Why?
Well, exactly, except when it is y and when it's z and x. And...
Yeah, exactly. You get it. I knew you'd get it.
So, why here?
Here I can be alone, you know. I don't have the other jocks pressuring me on why I'm not on the team. And then I don't have the other kids looking at me in the ways, you know, how they look at me. It's just nice to get away, to be alone, or at least, you know, sort of alone. Plus, you can see everyone and everything from up here. It's, I don't know, maybe it's scientific. It's observation and escape all mingled together at the same time.
It's like your own little microscope.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take my teacher hat off for just a moment. I'm gonna tell you and she leans back against one of the vents and, did you know my son, Eli?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Truth be told, when he said he was going to join the football team, I was terrified. I was really scared what that would mean, because I knew, as a little nerdy girl, growing up at school, I know we have certain expectations of what those people are like, what we're like, and you know, and but it didn't affect him at all. He was so loved by everyone that he met, and so much of the reason for that was because he reached out to them. So a little bit of distance is good and important, but sometimes closing the gap can be useful too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But that's not always easy, which I also understand.
Not always. But I'll try. I swear.
How's your sister, by the way?
She's great. She's in college still.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's doing really good on her. She's going for her master's already. Like, it's insane. She's just brilliant.
I remember when she was around this big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. Once more into the breach. Don't stay out here too long. You don't want to teach her to see you, and
Yep.
Yeah.
Lips are sealed. Don't worry. I won't tell anybody.
okay. I will see you in class later.
See you later.
Okay. Bye, Drake. And she slips out through the nearby fire escape and very quickly just like shushes you before closing it gently behind her, and you are left alone on the roof of the school once more.
Okay. I will walk around to the other side to see the other side of the school, if I can.
You see the football pitch and the stadium and how it adjoins. Huge white bleachers and this giant pitch, larger than many schools of this size, it has to be said. A lot of money went into this building. And the track that runs around the outside of it, and the blue and yellow flags that flutter around the perimeter of this giant edifice to sport and physical education.
Okay. I'll while I'm out there, I will pull out my little sketchbook that I have on me, and then just quickly jot down the field, maybe some kids running on the field, and then I'll look at it and I'll be like, yep, that's today. Let's go. And head downstairs, get ready for class.
And as the metal door of the fire escape closes behind you, far beyond the school, in a far calmer, more quiet place, past the suburban town, the houses and the water tower that sits on the outskirts, past Paradise Lost Trailer Park, and through the limits of Eden Forest. Sunshine streams through the swaying branches of the redwood trees of Eden Forest, the trunks of which stretch almost impossibly wide, the yellowy-orange glow of the morning sun only deepening their colour. And a soft breeze lilts across long, untamed grass, and the birdsong of sparrows and finches local to the area echoes through the bark. And climbing up a grass and dirt incline dwarfed by the natural sights around her, a single figure treks through the forest. Alone. Sam, would you like to describe Darla Oaks for us?
I sure would. So Darla hasn't changed much from last year. She doesn't tend to. Her hair is still unkempt. She doesn't brush it, and when she does, it's very frizzy. She still wears, a mixture now between just her jean shorts or now blue jeans, because the evenings are getting cooler, and especially now that she has been through and through the forest, she's learned maybe it's not great to fall on your bare knees. Instead, falling on a pair of jeans can feel a lot less painful. But regardless, she still has on her thick leather pilot jacket that is just much too big for her, always falling off a little bit, but she adjusts it but never zips it. Also, my jacket's right there. It's just like 100 degrees. I'm not putting it on. So it's there. But she still has all of her gold jewelry that she wears, the necklace and the rings and bracelets, as well as her chain She has a silver chain link that she has always used to, who knows, it could help her in a pinch, but she uses it as a belt almost. Her pants fit fine, but she has it there. It's a good place to sit. But yeah.
And this early in the morning, the school day yet to truly begin, what is Darla Oaks doing so far out and so deep in the forest?
Not going to school, that's for sure. She, this summer, had been really getting closer to Mr. Jenkins, mainly because of everything that they had gone through toward the end of last year, and then him asking her, you know, like, where does this black box that they had discovered come from? And so she took that to heart as like a, you know what, this is fun. It's dangerous, but it's fun, and nobody else is interested amongst her friend group, or if they did show interest, they faltered and fell off, but she wanted to figure it out because it is so intriguing, and it's probably the only thing this town has going for it in terms of something to think about and to uncover and discover. So probably digging through the woods, trying to follow any tracks or maybe little things that Mr. Jenkins has let her off on, likely leading to nowhere, but within those moments, just taking time for her and for peace, and doing a lot more alone time meditation because she feels a lot more hurt because she had made friends and slowly they had moved away, gone places. And it's not a nice feeling after she had finally opened up. So she used these moments as a way to clear her head a little bit, to try to keep growing as a better person, but at the same time, people still make her mad real easy.
Can you make an investigate check for me as you continue to
Yeah,
move
sure.
through the forest?
I hope I get successes so I can use those curses. Let me pull up my character sheet. Oh, dang it. Okay, I got a 0.
So you walk through the forest,
walk
and
through the
as
forest.
you're walking through, the air is chilled, and it is soft. It is peaceful. Broken for a moment by a cry in the distance. Wait up! As you turn and you see an old man in a heavy brown jacket climbing up the hill as Mr. Jenkins comes into view. He's got a wiry grey beard still framing his gaunt and pale liver-spotted features, and over his shoulder there is, as always, slung a large rucksack, as well as his gunmetal shotgun. And out of breath and struggling after you, he is outpaced by his German shepherd, Linda, who just bounds up to you.
I don't know why you keep tagging along with him, Linda. He takes so long. You should have packed less. I told you this already.
You seem to forget I'm not as young as
And you forget that you're old.
Have you found anything?
I don't think so. I haven't, right? Because of that investigation? What is
You
that
have
face
not.
frozen on? That is beautiful, Ed.
Oh no!
Don't change. Don't change ever.
He just looks around and... Alright, well, on we go. And just continues to trek.
Wait. Have you found anything, though? Why is it just on me?
Well, you ran ahead.
Okay, you have eyes.
You know, this is the third time this week you've been here, and you're still no nicer to me.
Well, honestly, I think this is nice. I haven't decked you yet. She's gonna keep walking ahead of him.
So, you have nothing better to do than hang out with an old man and his dog?
Well, I mean, there's nothing at home for me. School's boring. So other than that, and whenever Artie's not busy learning, no, not really.
What about those other friends of yours?
What about him? And she snaps. You can tell she doesn't like this question.
Okay. It's beautiful this time of year, though.
Looks the same it does every year. Doesn't change much.
There is a beauty in that, too.
Did you bring me out here just to talk about trees, or do you want to find stuff?
Says the one who's perpetually knocking on my door saying, "Oh, what have we found? What have we found?"
I'm just waiting for you to say this, and you haven't yet. So until then, you're kind of stuck with me.
You haven't done much hunting, have you?
Actually, I used to hunt with my dad, but not in a really long time.
Well, then you should know. It's a waiting game. And he just heads on.
Did he just tell me to be patient? And then she
Linda
continues on.
looks up at you and...
I don't know, Linda. She follows.
And you're walking for some time. Can you make another investigate check for me, please? I'm also going to use this opportunity to grab a wire for my headphones because I think they're about to die.
Hurry,
Why
quick
is Ed so
chat.
good at dog sounds?
Ed is good at
Ed is
everything.
good
You
at
know what else
Maybe in
he's
his
good
past
at?
life he was a
Isn't
dog.
insane.
I don't know.
I
That's
can't wait
how-
till he plays Janice.
I love how everyone was like, "Oh, we're gonna compliment Ed," and Becca's like, "Nah, man might have been a dog before."
You should
I'm
hear
a
him as a
dog
rat.
now.
That one's my favorite.
Woof.
Don't forget, y'all, you can donate to mess us up or make our lives better, or you can get more Janice time, the lunch lady from Ed, which we're still waiting on as he plugs in
should've
this
gone with-
headphone.
I should have gone to visit Janice.
Oh, that's a
That's most
redeemed
true.
incentive. It's gotta happen.
Oh my god! Oh. Okay, what did you get, Sam?
I sure like them zeros.
Big old
They're
goose
real
egg?
cute.
Okay, so as you walk, you find yourself separated from Mr. Jenkins as you
How long has it
move
been?
off. Not that long. This is much earlier in the day to the action that is happening. We will catch you up to where everyone else is shortly. But yeah, it's been around an hour. It's still early in the morning, and the sun in this elevated portion, because the Eden Forest sits a little higher than the town, the sun has always hit the forest a little earlier than the tarmac streets and the stone buildings and the metal windows. It is warmer out here than it is in the town presently. But you've been out here for several hours now.
Okay. Are we separated to a point of I can't hear him or see
You
him?
can make a comprehend check.
Sure. I'm honestly just trying to roll eager to these curses, so.
I'm trying to help with that.
Dang it, I didn't get it.
You can re-roll if you'd like, if you want to push
Yeah,
it.
but I don't want to waste luck on that. Maybe. Sure. Yay, I got one. It's a 0.
Okay, cool.
So
Well, I
take a
will say.
condition.
So, I will say after the amount that you have been walking, you're probably exhausted at this point. And
All
as
before
you
school.
yeah. And as you sit to take a breath, you're there for a little while. Until you hear the boots of Mr. Jenkins coming back. And he seems hurried. Come on, get up. I think you should go.
What? The sun's barely up.
Yeah, I know, but, animal attack. I think it will be safer
Again?
if... Again, yep.
Can you at least tell what kind of animal it is? Oh no, it ate him. That's it.
It ain't me.
Come back.
The
Come
animal
back.
ate our G.
Sorry, it's my ever reliable UK internet. But
The
Mr.
true
Jenkins, Mr. Jenkins looks at you and no, just another dead deer, torn apart.
Nice. Alright, well. Are you at least gonna head out? I don't think you could take a bear. I'm just saying.
No, I'm gonna head back to my place and see what I can find down there. But I might not be a teacher anymore, but it would be remiss of me not to mention that school starts in around an hour.
Wow, that's a really good thing to know. Can't wait to show up. Not at all. I'm kidding.
Well-
Don't have a heart attack. It's fine. I'm gonna go to see Artie anyway.
Say hello from me.
I will.
He's doing okay.
Alright, well, you get somewhere safe. Let me know if you find any information.
I will do. You've still got your radio?
Oh, yeah. And she, like, pats her satchel. You could probably hear a bit of a harder knock.
On you. Very nice. Okay, well, have a good day.
Yep, I will. You as well. And she awkwardly pats his shoulder. See ya. Okay, I'm gone. She turns and...
We don't have to do that. That's okay. Okay, bye.
do what? She walks quickly. See you later.
You head on your way. And as you leave the confines of Eden Forest, its giant towering trees diminishing in the distance behind you, you are met with rolling fields of long grass, stretching out as far as you can see, broken only by the sight of bipedal mechanized farm bots stalking the horizon. The cool glow of the October sun hanging in the sky, gently obscured by softly moving clouds as leaves loosely float in the breeze. And in the distance, the town of Eden Falls. And as you walk, your tired legs beneath you, to the distant right you see Paradise Lost Trailer Park standing on the outskirts of town, with clotheslines, tents, plastic chairs and tables and barbecues stretching between each trailer and abode. But as you continue walking, Darla, to your left, you are met with a familiar sight. A house. A house where you and 4 others first really met one another. A house where, as the months rolled on, you and these other 4 would meet and scheme and laugh and bond. This was Jackie's house. Between here and the treehouse in your garden, you have lost track of the amount of time that you all spent in one another's company, but now this place, this home, it stands hollow, empty, and it has been this way for several months now. One day, Jackie and their parents simply vanished, and you have no idea where they went.
Is it blocked off?
No, not at all. The house stands empty, the workshop next to it empty, and the paddock out back free of horses, the gate simply left open.
When you say empty, is it like they moved or as if they just vanished?
In your time walking past, you saw furniture had gone. You saw most of the essentials from the workshop vanished. It appears planned.
Okay. Darla would just look at it passing by. Not pay it too much mind. She's probably seen it time and time again and run the scenarios through her head once more, considering, she doesn't know where Jackie went or if they moved or if her dad's okay, because she knew that his health was declining. So she just keeps walking, puts her hands in her pockets, and kind of kicks a rock as she passes by and continues on.
And on your journey, moving further into town, the ground and the long grass giving way to pavements and streets, past the town's water tower, past suburban houses and properties so unlike your own. You see a for sale sign outside one such property. Again, a familiar place. A place in the basement of which, much like Jackie's humbler home, you are intimately familiar with. A treasured hangout space. But once again, the people within it are gone. And those times and memories, while only a summer away, they feel like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, kind of the same feeling. Except this time she really wouldn't look because she just still has a bitterness, mainly to Chloe. But she mumbles under her breath. Medium friendship. In regards to Jane.
Your hands shoved in the pockets of your oversized jacket. You continue on. As in the halls of Jenkins High, Amelia, you are just one face in a crowd as you are surrounded by the noise of the school day. Sneakers squeaking as students run down corridors, disappearing upstairs and into classrooms. You hear talking, crying, screaming, laughing. The sound of the school choir holding an impromptu rehearsal in front of the alternating metal blue and yellow lockers, and across every metal surface in this corridor, there's a plethora of stickers and graffiti, along with plenty of signs exclaiming, "Go Eagles!" And in between these rows of lockers, students are throwing footballs, pinning sheets and audition sheets to notice boards, throwing paper aeroplanes, tripping over one another and chasing each other, and hanging down from the ceiling on one side. You see paper skeletons, orange streamers, strings of black bats and plastic pumpkins, and at the end of the corridor, you see a couple of very preppy-looking students on a stepladder pinning up the final corner of a large orange banner that reads, "Halloween dance, next Monday, October 31st, basketball court, 5 p.m. Punch, music, scares, costumes a must. Buy your tickets now." And Amelia, where are you headed?
Nose in book, she at least understands the straightaway of the hallway. She'll be making her way over to class. Bookmark in hand as well. She keeps thumbing through her pages. Oh,
Phenomenal. Can you make
taking her
a
pen
body
notes.
check for me very quickly, sorry?
Yeah.
And Drake, can you do the same?
Yep.
Body check.
PvP.
Which kind of body?
Which kind of
Whose body? The one you have.
Straight body?
What a straight body, or if you would like to use another one, feel free.
Actually, can I use one of my blesses on this? Am I close?
You may. Absolutely, yeah.
Because I would like to succeed at this.
And I still got 0 successes.
So,
How great is
as
this?
Amelia, as you are walking down the corridor, suddenly, deep in your book though you are, you see the fire escape in front of you open, and you manage to dodge ever so slightly. As Drake, you step out and immediately collide into Amelia as you just trip over and your bag goes flying everywhere. The contents scattered all over the floor in front of you. And Drake, what would Amelia see on the floor?
She would see my biology book, my sketchbook, my pencils, some water bottle that I have, along with a protein bar and a couple granola bars because I get hungry during the day. And probably some extra underwear that just flew out because you never know when you're getting sweaty and you might need to change after working out. So
I always keep an extra pair of underwear on me for that.
you should. I'm just gonna scramble and get those before she
Yeah.
sees that they have Masters of the Universe like written on the tag around the waistband.
Amelia, can you make a comprehend check for me, please?
Yeah. Let's see what we can get out of this.
And Drake, can you make a sneak check for me, please?
Perfect.
Are we just bad at this?
You're really bad at
Yeah,
this.
I think the game is rigged for failure right now. It doesn't want us to use these
Yeah.
curses until we need them
I've gotten
to not be.
0 successes this whole time.
The footfall between you both makes the whole thing utterly chaotic as you just scrabble for whatever is nearest, Drake, as you just pull things into your bag. And Amelia, you see this giant in front of you on the floor.
Oh. Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Let me get you your things, and she'll pick up like the granola bar.
It's fine.
Here,
I can do it.
Who left a biology book on the floor? Good grief! And she'll actually take the book and try to put it in her book bag instead.
Fine. Sorry, that's my book.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm taking biology. It's third period.
Yeah, this is a upper. Oh, and she'll open it. Is your name written on the inside or anything?
Probably, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Drake. We've met. So yeah, if I can get that
Pudding
back.
boy. That's right. I totally forgot. That's what you. Yes. No. I'm sorry. This is the second time, of course. I keep messing up all of your stuff.
Yes.
Let me just. Yes. Biology book, and she'll kind of shove it towards you as she awkwardly like collects the rest of her items. No. You draw?
Yeah. It's,
Oh no. Of course this is yours. There's some pudding on the edge still. I'm
Yes.
sorry about that.
Yeah, it's stained.
I
It's
didn't
fine.
mean
Don't
to
worry
do
about it.
that. Here, and
No,
she'll just
you
try to
don't
like.
need. You
No,
don't need to
I
lick
promise
it.
I can get it off. I can fix almost anything. And she'll try to scrub it off a little bit, probably making it a little bit worse along the edge.
Pudding from
Yeah, make
Janice.
a tinker check for me.
Saliva tinker.
How bad could this be? Good, another failure.
Pretty bad. You make it a lot worse as that stain just like streaks across the paperback.
Do you really want, here, and she'll just hand it back to you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's fine. I'll just take care of it. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
You know,
I'm
instead
sorry.
of leaving it open,
Recognize that pudding anywhere, and Janice just comes round the corner and just like, I know my handiwork. Oh, hello, young man. I don't believe we've met.
Hi, I'm Drake. It's
Oh, a pleasure. I'm just on my way to the canteen, but I'll maybe see you there, hotshot. And she just heads off down the corridor in the direction of the canteen.
yeah.
friend of yours.
Apparently now. Anyway, I'm so sorry for hitting you with the door. It's my fault.
No, I don't
Let me
mind.
help you out.
Amelia, by the way. I don't know if I introduced myself before. And she'll kind of
No,
thrust her hand forward.
You just screamed pudding and then ran away
Yeah.
last time, so you know it's
it
fine.
was a little
I'm Drake.
embarrassing. Drake, it's a delightful to meet. Oh, by the way, instead of leaving like your little sketchbook open like that, here, and she'll shuffle into her book bag. What color do you like?
Red.
Red. A deep red, like a crimson. Would that be okay?
Yeah, like a blood red. Crimson red.
Perfect.
Either way, that
And
works.
she'll hand you a bookmark. There. That
That'll-
way you can actually close your books and it'll protect the pages on the inside because the cover is meant to protect the outside of it instead. So if you close it, less likely to get pudding or gum or whatever it is that's on these floors onto your actual pages.
Yeah, I think it was open because it fell on the floor, but it's
oh.
great. I'll use the bookmark. Thank you. It'll be
Yeah,
helpful.
if you need any others, like for the biology one, here, do you want another one? And she'll start shifting through.
Sure. Blue.
Blue. Blue, 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 blue. A
As
cerulean.
you're hearing the words blue, cerulean come out, over Amelia's shoulder, Drake, for a moment, it is though everything moves into slow motion. As coming down the corridor, the crowd's almost parting in her wake, you see Lana Stewart. Tall, pretty, long, wavy brown hair bouncing on either side of a lightly tanned face, bright brown eyes and a softly freckled nose, and she wears an oversized red, crimson red jacket over a preppy denim ensemble, and in her hands you see a stack of orange leaflets being passed about as she makes her way inexorably towards your direction. A flyer for you, buy your ticket for the lunch break, okay, bye. One for you, okay, thanks, and she stops in front of you. You, why do I know your face?
We had class together freshman year. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I kept behind you the whole year. It's cool. I was on the volleyball team too. You might have remembered me from that. I don't know.
No, here's a flyer. So tickets for the Halloween dance are just $1. And oh my God, Amelia, right? You're the new girl.
Yes, that's me. Do I get a flyer too?
You absolutely do. Also, and sort of giving a little sort of nose wrinkle in the direction of Drake, just pulls you to one side, Amelia, still just within earshot. But I was actually looking for you. This is really embarrassing. You're like a bookie type, right?
I don't take gambles, no.
No. Oh, okay, cool. But was that a joke? I don't really know what you.
Books? Yes, I book.
Oh, cool. Okay, yes. The stacks were, yeah. So it's a bit embarrassing, but I'm flunking English at the moment, and I really need to bring my grades up. Otherwise, Miss Reynolds Jackson is going to kill me. So I was wondering, whether I could, maybe have a little bit of help from you.
Of course, yes. I'm incredibly helpful. We could do a study session sometime. I can't tonight after school because I promised I would go back home. But we could meet in the library, like during a study hall.
Oh, cool. Could we do tonight anyway, though? That would be great.
Sure.
I can pay you if. Oh, you already said yes? Okay, cool. And you see her immediately just putting the wallet back in, and she's like, "Great. Okay. Well, give me your address and I can pick you up. Maybe. Oh, there's this cute little space out near the waterfalls in the forest. If you wanted to maybe have a little bit of a scenic kind of Jane Bronte Austen kind of thing. I don't know.
Sure. As long as there's like a table for actually the writing part for the English.
Ah, you're cute. Okay, cool. And she just immediately just hands you a pen and paper and just pushes it into you. And so I will. Oh, I've never been to that side of town. Okay, cool. Well, I will. I'll pick you up there later. Shall we say name a time?
6:30.
Okay, 5. Okay, bye. And she just immediately just sweeps off her brown hair, just leaving her perfume floating towards you. Drake.
Could I hear any of that?
Make a comprehend check to see just how much.
Why is my guy so dumb?
Are you gonna succeed for once?
Probably not. 0.
What is happening?
You can re-roll if you would like.
I will re-roll. Maybe use a bless. And a bless.
And a bless. So
No. We can't use blesses on rerolls.
Oh, reels.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
a nightmare. It's a,
Alright, how
it's a
about this?
roll.
What was all that about?
I think I made a new friend. I think.
With Lana. Okay.
Do you know her? Is she actually nice? I feel like I'm going to end up writing her paper for her.
I could see that happening. Yes. She has a hard exterior, but in my heart, I believe that she's a good person. You just have to get to know her better.
I don't know. I don't have really time for that. I've got my own things to do. Is she nice or is she not? That's not selling me. Here, are you any good at this? I didn't know you were good at biology. Maybe you're good at English too.
Actually, English is my worst subject, so I was gonna
Oh.
ask you the same thing.
Do I just have
Probably.
student tutor written on my forehead or something? She'll like rub her forehead. Did somebody write it on me, or is there like a piece of paper on my back where they taped it? It says I'm just going to help everyone. Listen,
just
I
seems
do
like you're a
more
nice
than just
person, so.
read. Oh.
I think that's why people just assume you're a nice person, and then nice people like to help people. I like to help you. I could help you with anything you want. We could do a trade. I could pay you. What are you doing tonight?
Well, apparently a study session. Do you want to come at least? Especially if you'll be the one paying.
Sure. Yeah, I don't mind.
She kind of lights up at that. That was easier than I thought it would be. I guess 5.
Okay, and where?
My home here. And she'll just take your drawing pad from you and write her address on it for you.
As this is happening, Nico, what are you doing as the swarms of students move around you?
Nico, he's kind of like almost unconsciously watching people around him and kind of learning the habits, learning the patterns of people. He's not so much in a rush to get there, but he's trying to move through people like they're water. Like it's not so much that he's trying to be unseen, but he's moving in a way that he doesn't bump into anyone. He's trying to pay extra attention. And he's kind of just trying to get a hold of like the cliques in this school.
Okay. I will let you roll whatever you would like to. Whatever you want. You only need 1 success to ascertain whatever information or move as unseen as you want.
Which means you
and
need
it like
3.
is it an attribute or can it be a skill?
It can be whatever you want it to be. I'm happy with either.
I want to investigate, and I'm going to use 3 of my blesses. I will succeed.
You still have your 2 curses, right?
Yes, which is why I'm using 3 of my blesses.
Okay. Well, hang on, don't use it yet. What if you get
Counter.
3 success? Oh, just kidding.
My god.
What is happening? Okay,
I think
so
something
you've
is
got...
wrong. Also,
We
yeah,
can
if you
test
use
it
3
in the
blesses,
break.
you can make it.
So with that, you get 1 success. I would say, looking around, you get a fairly good sense of the dynamics of the school. You see the marching band sort of all meeting excitedly. You see the goths, the punk rockers. You see the nerdy kids, and you see a couple of familiar faces from the anime society who are just off to one side. And you get the sense that for as cliquey as the school is, and ultimately isn't that just the school experience, most of these cliques tend to give one another a fairly respectful and wide berth. You can see jocks moving through the hallways, towering above the other students, and occasionally, slapping books out of hands. But there, as there are in any clique, there are good and there are bad seeds. But as you look over in the direction of the Anime Society, you see one of their members, a tall boy that you've seen but not spoken to, leaning against a locker, his dark and handsome features framed by a twist-top haircut, and slung across his colourful, oversized hoodie, he carries a school-branded gym bag, inside which you see stuffed reams and reams of frayed Marvel comics. And he just, catching your eye briefly, he just sort of gestures to the others and starts making his way over to you.
There's like kind of an excitement. Nico loves comics. And he loves comics in the sense that some comics add that little bit of science or knowledge or excitement or joy into it that can be related into the real world. It's not that he wants to be a hero, but he loves the parallels of what heroes can be in the real world. So like he's like, oh, okay, yeah. And he's like anticipating what this conversation is gonna be.
Well, this excitement is doubled by one particular issue you see sticking out at the top. It is Amazing Spider-Man 238, out only a couple of months ago, and it has the familiar figure of the Hobgoblin, orange-cowled, just tearing the suit of Spider-Man apart in half right down the middle. And on the front, 3 lakeside skin tattoos, with a Z, obviously, inside, emblazoned on the front. As the kid walks up, grinning at you, and, "Hey, you're the new kid in the anime society, right?"
Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man, like the one with, is that like in the shadows of evil past? Like,
Oh shit, you're a fan?
yeah. And it has the lakeside skin tattoo on it, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And he rolls up his sleeve, and you can see a whole bunch of spider tattoos, like on. And he's like, I haven't used all of them yet. If you want a couple,
Yeah.
Yeah?
I would love. Oh my god! Like, yes. Yeah.
So, hey, so I've only really seen you from across the room, but you seem like, I don't know, whenever we've been talking about anime and kind of watching all the old VHSs, you seem like you have, look, no shade on the others, you seem like you have really good taste, and I thought you might like, this. I was hoping I might bump into you today. And he brings out a small cardboard slipcase in which there is a VHS where scrawled along the side there are the words Super Dimension Fortress Macross, as he just places it into your hands. And so it's really heavily inspired by Mobile Suit Gundam, but and it's the same studio that did it as well, but big robots, big aliens, it's great. I thought you might like it.
Did we just become best friends?
Mate, I think we did. And he just immediately goes in for a high five.
Yeah, the crispest high five possible.
And as you do this, it is almost punctuated by the school bell as he just turns around. Okay, I got a dash, I got track in a bit, but see you around?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
What was your name?
TJ Graves.
DJ, hey, even your name is cool.
Hey, I got nothing on Nico. Okay, I'll see you soon.
Ciao, mata. Later.
And as he disappears down the corridor and everyone begins to funnel towards their classes, Darla, the outside of school is quiet as you head up the sandstone steps towards the double doors. Is there anything you do before school begins?
Probably not. Just because she would be wanting to find Artie to let him know like how this morning went. Surely that she tells him before she goes. Yeah. But also, around about what time is it, or like how late is
So it
she?
is, you hear the school bell as you
Okay.
step onto the car park.
Gotcha.
You will have to run to class if you want to get there on time.
You're so funny,
Which
Ed.
I'm
I love
assuming.
that. But no, actually, she would like to find Artie and either wait for him outside of his first period, or catch him beforehand. I don't know.
Okay. Everyone starts filing into their first class of the day. And Darla, you look out for Artie, making your way through the crowds, most of whom know better than to get in your way. They part, much like the Red Sea, as you just make your way through a bubble of isolation, pushing everyone away. Until eventually you see, over by his locker, Artie, just taking a few books out and putting them into his rucksack. Oblivious.
She's gonna come up behind him, and obviously after his body is out of the way for this, she would slam the locker and just like lean against it. Hello. Good morning.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey. You weren't at home when I came by.
I mean, I told you yesterday I was gonna go with Jenkins in the morning.
Yes,
Which,
you did.
by the way, we found nothing.
Oh,
Just thought
okay,
I'd update
cool.
you. Except for dead animals, I guess. That's still happening.
Oh. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Why?
Cool.
Are you okay?
No, just yeah. No, I'm. You know me. I'm always fine. You know, except when I'm not being
Yeah, you're always
shot
fine.
at by your new best friend.
Okay, to be fair, he apologized a lot. And he hasn't tried to harm us since.
I did actually want to say sorry. If
What?
I've been a little, well, if I've been a bit off the grid recently. I've been Okay, so this afternoon it'll all make sense. But I was wondering what you're doing after school, unless you're meeting with
I don't know, whatever you're doing.
Jenkins again.
No.
Well, do you want to meet at the Amblin Diner?
Sure.
Yeah. Cool. So I'll have something else to do straight after school, but I can
Can I try
meet
to
you
read
there.
him?
Huh?
Can I try to read him?
Yeah, go for it. Make
I don't know what
make
that
a
would be.
contact check for me.
Oh, come off it. Not the
I hate to say this.
exhaustion.
We are a good-looking group, but we are losers when it comes to rolling.
Not the exhaustion. All right.
It's hard to tell. He seems genuinely quite excited, although there's a little nervousness as he sort of steadies himself a bit and goes, but I want to forewarn you in advance, and don't get mad.
Oh, I like where this is going. Good.
I've invited someone else to come and
Okay.
yeah. But it's all good, and I think it will probably help with all of the Jenkins stuff as well.
Are you giving me like an intervention?
No, I would be too scared you would bring a gun.
Then why'd you say it like that?
What?
Who is it?
I don't know. So, well, it's So remember, I mentioned that programmer kid, who, I've mostly seen his work from across the room, but he's really good, and I've been building something, Darla, something. I know. I think it's really cool. You might not.
I already think everything you make is cool. But what does that have to do with this kid?
Well, I can build stuff, but I can't always make it do what I want to. I think he can.
Then why do you need me?
Why do I need you?
Yeah, I obviously can't program.
Well, I mean, the whole reason I'm doing it is to try and help you.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
not at this moment. I don't want to interfere with your relationships with other students.
So we should see other
Don't
young
say it like
slash
that.
really
Stop.
old men. Right?
All right, that's gross.
I'm sorry if I should have run it past you first.
No, it's fine.
but
I just didn't know if I was interfering with any tech stuff.
No. I thought you might be bored by it.
I mean, once you start talking numbers, I'm not gonna lie, I tend to lose it there. And you're
Okay,
more so talking at me at that point, I'll say, but...
Okay. And he just sort of nods but you'll come?
Yeah, I'll come.
Okay.
Do you want to meet up ahead of time or at the diner?
I'll meet you there. I have one last thing I need to get, but hey, maybe you and Nico can chat and sort of like looks you up and down a little bit, and
Okay. We'll talk about that later.
it's a Halloween dance.
Are there signs up?
There are quite prominently, sort of around the various
Of course.
corridors.
She would look at one of the signs and, are you interested in going or something?
Oh, well, no, it's dumb, right? Unless you were thinking of
No.
which case it could be no.
30, you know me better than that.
Yeah. We can do something else that night.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Okay, I have to go to my first period, but I'll see you later.
Who's your first teacher again?
Miss Reynolds Jackson.
Oh. Have fun.
I will not. Okay, I'll see you later.
See you later. She walks by, kind of leading back towards the outside.
And we skip ahead a few sessions throughout the day. And we will skip to third period, but is there anything that anyone is doing in the interim? Any moments anyone wants to take for themselves or with anyone else at all? Oh.
I said I ate my granola bar because I got too hungry.
Hell yeah.
Smart.
In which case, brushing away the crumbs of the granola from the corners of your mouth as third period begins, all four of you are in biology. As autumnal sunshine spreads across the workbenches of the science classroom, as you all sit there, the school bells still echoing in your ears from previous period, two to a table. And as students murmur and laugh amongst themselves, Mrs. Sparrow, pausing briefly in front of you, Drake, and giving you a bit of a knowing nod, walks between the aisles and places shallow glass trays on the worktops, each of which are filled to the brim with orangey red sand. Now, today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. And she moves to the front of the class. Now, for as much as it is important to expand our knowledge of the here and now, what that might mean for the future, it is equally vital that every so often we cast a discerning glance back in time. After all, how do we appreciate where we stand if we do not acknowledge the steps that brought us here? So, today, we will be excavating. So buried in these boxes, the Clark Museum have very kindly donated recreations of fossil samples from their collection for us to practice excavating and examination on. You have a small metal pick, you have a toothbrush, and that is all you will need. So I'm going to ask you to pair up with someone not on your table. Make notes throughout, see what clues you can find, and we'll discuss as a class at the end what we have discovered from these ancient fossils. So, feel free to pair up and get going. And she sits to one side as all of you in your disparate positions around the classroom find yourself in need of a partner.
Being incredibly uncomfortable with this situation, but knowing she will need to pick someone, Amelia will keep her biology book open, but will make eye contact up occasionally.
Comes to me, but won't go out of my way to.
Oop, I think we have some delays, I think.
My internet. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's
We can hear you,
incredibly
Major Tom.
soft.
Oh, it's right here.
So we'll go Amelia and then we will go Drake. So sorry, Amelia, you were saying?
Yes. Very awkwardly, she'll have her book out, kind of flipping through it, not actually paying attention to her book, but just not really wanting to look too desperate to make eye contact with someone. And then it dawns on her, Ames, you know, you, Drake, new best friend, pudding boy, you're with me. And she'll just kind of pull over a chair very loudly as it screeches over. Show me what you've got.
And Nico.
That's awkward. I was gonna ask the book girl. And he slowly turns and looks at Darla. And Darla looks uninterested and unimpressed, right? And he remembers
Yeah.
something that his mom said to him. No one left behind. So he just gets up and moves to Darla without even so much saying anything.
Wait, are we at school? Darla's not at school.
Oh, I thought you went to class. Are you not at school?
No, she left.
Oh!
Wait, you're
Oh.
skipping?
Oh shit, okay. So,
No, that's fine. I don't need a partner.
Choice.
Yeah, she
It's, you know what? Jokes aside, it's funnier if Nico doesn't have a partner because that's
yeah.
Nico doesn't have a partner because Darla didn't show up.
Yeah, as everyone begins to
You're like left alone
pair
waiting.
off, and as Nico, you look to one side, and you look to the other, and you find yourself alone in the middle of the classroom, a large glass box of orange sand in front of you, pick toothbrush next to you.
It's okay. It's okay. Never alone. Cause I'm never alone.
Well, do you
Okay.
wanna start, or should I?
He's talking to you, Becca.
Oh,
Here.
sorry, I missed it. I'm like nodding, like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess I'll start then. All right.
Oh no. Sorry. Is there an odd number? Is there a way that we could pull Nico over?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll look back at Nico and see his odd loner energy going off, and then be like, Miss Sparrow, have him come over here. Might as well.
Oh, yeah, no, Nico, you can make a 3 over there.
Oh, is that allowed?
Yes.
If you want, Nico. Obviously, if you want to work on your own, that's also okay. Whatever you would like.
No, I like company.
Okay.
Yeah, just pull up a seat, man. It's fine.
Oh,
Get over here. And she'll drag another loud chair, kind of letting it. She's not going to pick it up. She's going to drag it against those
okay.
awful floorings that they have at every high school. Perfect. You know everyone, don't you, Drake? You have it even good with the teachers. Huh.
Did you bribe them?
No.
Why did you pause and then say no with a question mark?
No reason. Let's just do this work. We need to do good here, okay?
Plausible deniability. I like it.
Pick your toothbrush. Which one do you guys want?
The green one for me.
Toothbrush it is. Nico, you want the pick?
Yes.
There you go.
It's sharp.
No, you shouldn't have that.
Maybe I should.
What? Why? I'm gonna say things all the time, including my wit.
That was actually very good. He
Yeah,
deserves
believe
it.
it. All right. Let's,
Can all 3 of you make investigate checks for me, please?
Ugh. We could.
What's that? Ugh.
Ugh.
I'm gonna use 2 of my blesses.
I got a success. Wait, is that enough?
I am always the bridesmaid.
I got 0 successes. What do you know?
Something's wrong.
Between you all, guided by, we'll generously say overzealous, Amelia, you brush away bits of sand and you pick around slowly emerging blackened fossils. Replicas, but very, very accurate replicas. And you see, as it slowly comes into view, a curved claw, very large, around probably the size of 2 of Drake's hands put together, very, very sharp, and belonging to a creature a very, very long time ago. And I would say, with your role, especially, Amelia, you would know that this was from the prehistoric period.
Obviously. If we just dust a little bit more off, we'll have it all done, and then we can put it on a beautiful display. Prehistoric, we'll have to look up its scientific name, put it right underneath it, and then we can get an A in the class and be done with this. And she's just ferociously going at it with the brush. Like, if you've seen the meme with, like, the little girl, she's just shaking that brush like that. Like, that's her face, like, just really focused, kind of pushing all of this dust up into the air. Can't get that part off. You'll have to take the little nick and get all of that off there. And she'll slide it over to Nico.
It's a little more gentle. It's a fossil. They're not
Replica,
impervious.
isn't it?
It's a replica, but we're supposed to be doing it for realism, right? So,
Fair. All right, I'll respect the process.
thank you.
And as everyone in the class reaches a similar stage, some more successful than others, everyone is taking notes, and some, again, more detailed than some of the others in the class, perhaps looking at the increasingly flipping pages in the books before you. Eventually, everyone has in their hand identical curved claws that are placed in the center of the desk. And Mrs. Sparrow steps forward. Now, having discovered what lies beneath the earth, can anyone hazard a guess what sort of creature we think this might have belonged to?
She'll elbow Drake. Show us what you've got.
Sure.
Drake, yes.
From our team, we have decided that it's a prehistoric dinosaur, most likely.
Lovely.
Um,
So,
Predator!
does it-
Amelia will
It's a
interrupt.
predator. Clearly,
Very
'cause of the
good.
claw.
Yes. Any idea as to potentially what kind of predator, carnivore, that we might be looking at with something like this?
Judging by the 2 of them and the size, guessing that they're accurate to realism and not just smaller because it's a replica. Nico has an idea.
Yeah, sure. Do they look wider or closer together for the talons? Would you say?
They look as though, I will say, with your group's combined effort, they look very singular in their size. It looks like this is one of a set, this one being the largest of them. Very curved, almost like a crescent moon in shape.
Ooh, okay. We were thinking that it could be a predator in the family of like the pterodons because of the crescent moon curve of the claws. It is less likely to run on the ground, and it is more likely that it uses its claws to perch and or hang on branches and or large wood-like structures that would hold it as it needs to rest on them rather than walking on the ground.
Exactly, and you can find it on page 87 of our textbook, and she'll hold it up.
Mrs. Sparrow just nods and sort of a little taken aback by but not entirely surprised, especially from you, Amelia, as she goes, Precisely. Well done, you three. Now, contrary to popular belief, most dinosaurs would have been no larger than a chicken, especially the raptor, for example. And like chickens, they would likely have been covered head to toe in feathers. That's not to say there was no variation in the genus of this dinosaur. And as she continues on, she looks in the direction of all three of you and just gives a small approving nod as the class continues on, and the three of you together listen to Mrs. Sparrow talk about the various families of the various species of dinosaur, from those in flight, as correctly identified by the three of you, all the way through to the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the raptors. And this continues calmly and quietly until the school bell rings again, and immediately everyone begins to immediately jump to their feet and grab their bags. And Mrs. Sparrow goes, "Okay, remember that the homework for next time." You all remember, it's fine. And she heads over to her desk and just sits down. And as she does, she turns to you, Nico, and Nico, would you mind staying behind briefly?
No, I wouldn't mind that. There's no way she read my mind that I thought it was funny we were looking up bird claws with Mrs. Sparrow. She can't do that, right?
Maybe.
What?
Well, there's not really any proof that she couldn't do it yet. If she can, you should test that ability. Think like insult her in your mind, and if she gets upset about it, then you'll know that she can't actually read your mind.
Just remember to keep it in your mind and don't say it out loud.
Exactly. Test it out. We'll be waiting right outside the door for you. Just don't. If you get in trouble, yell. Or code word. What's a code word? What's a good code word?
Amoeba. Good luck is bad. Good luck is a bad code word.
Okay.
It'll be fine. You'll be great. We'll meet you outside.
Okay. Hello, Miss Sparrow.
Hi, Nico. I just wanted to ask how you are getting on.
I'm okay. Why?
And she looks to the door, and you hear the sound of students moving by, and she just pushes the door to a little bit. Look, I know you have to dash to your next class, and I hope I'm not stepping out of line, but I was talking to my husband over the weekend, and he told me that he and your mom work in the same department. So I just wanted to let you know, if you ever need anything, my office door is always open. I know how difficult it can be sometimes doing what your mom does, and keeping what a parent does a secret, even from friends. My son struggled with the same thing, so I just wanted to let you know that you're not alone.
Thanks, Miss Sparrow. I'll be okay. What? It's like it's just like shoes. Like they're a little uncomfortable until you wear them in finally. But I'm kind of making friends. I was just gonna be alone. That was okay. So it was nice that I didn't have to be.
It's nice for them too. Okay, don't let me keep you. But yes, my office, open, always.
You are as nice as the sparrows that I saw back home, Miss Sparrow. I'm gonna go. Bye.
Bye-bye. And the door opens and closes behind you. And what are you...
Not a mind reader.
Dang it. I was really hoping, because even though there's not a lot of study proving it, there's a lot of people in the profession, and maybe that might indicate how we might sense and engage in the world otherwise. And I was hoping that Miss Sparrow could be like off-focus test. Maybe you weren't thinking hard enough. Were you really focusing on it?
I mean, there's a lot of things that I was focusing on during class, and if If she had heard them in my head, she would have said something.
Wait, what were you thinking of?
That's irrelevant.
And as the three of you move through a sea of students, moving between classes and different periods, as the rest of the school day goes on, is there anything anyone is doing before it comes to a close?
Amelia will drop by the library on her way out at least. Are some of the books I requested in? I should be expecting 3 more.
All right. You have quite a few overdue.
Oh, it's fine. Nobody else was reading them. Can I check them out? I had only a chance to read them once, and I wanted to make sure I read it like 2 or 3 times, just so that way my notes are thorough.
You know what? Take it up with the other student who's waiting on your books. She's over on that table. And he points in the direction of a girl who you've seen before, often at the school, but also the public library. And she has very wild, long red hair, topping slender, pretty features, and she's wearing kind of a real mismatch of various clothes, different sizes, just oversized jackets over dungarees, over a big turtleneck. I mean, like, for now, it's the sort of fashion that people would die for. It's great, but it is loud, it is bright, and seemingly not a care for any kind of cohesion.
So, you are waiting on some of my books.
Sorry, me?
Yeah, sorry, Amelia. And she'll thrust her hand forward.
Oh, hi. I'm Danny.
Nice to
hi.
meet you, Danny. Yes, these books, and she'll just immediately throw her backpack on the table and pull these out. I'm not done with these yet. I know it's your turn with them, but I really need them for a little bit longer. It's rather important. You can see, and as you go through, you'll notice like 50 different bookmarks, almost like on every other page put through. I've got a lot that I have to get through on these still, and I'm not quite ready to hand them over. You understand, right?
No, that's fine.
Perfect.
I just asked at the desk if they had a couple more, and she holds up a copy of a very thoroughly leafed H.G. Wells Time Machine. I was just looking for more H.G. Wells. I
Oh.
didn't know someone else was a fan.
You are also very thorough.
Yeah, I tend to hyperfixate on authors. I like to read all their oeuvre, and one book
No.
doesn't quite.
I love that. And Amelia will now actually push the books to the side, pull out a chair, and sit across from her and like leaning across, very focused. I have to read your notes. This will help so much more, so I'm not the only one actually dissecting this material. If you just write it over in the margins, I'm sure nobody else is reading this, so it'll be fine. Just put it in the margins there, and then I'll check that out after you, and that will make it so much easier. And then later on, we can set a date, and then we can compare notes and our insights taken from it.
Okay, I mean, I'm here most days, honestly.
Do you hang out over here often? I'm actually over typically on the other side. Nico and I grab a table over there when he's not busy talking to other people, and we function in that space because it's really quiet and less traffic. If you ever wanted to come and join us.
That sounds great. Yeah. Don't worry about. Yeah, I'm enjoying rereading this. Have you read this one?
No, that one is on my list. I've been taking my time through some of these. I go through a process in which I create a few things. I read through the book once, and then I go through it a second time for comprehension, and then a third time where I add in my notes to make sure that I have an additional perspective around it. And then after that, I compile my notes separately, and I read it a fourth time to make sure I haven't missed anything. And then I can, pass it along. Though ideally, I then come back to it a year later after I've gone through it to make sure I haven't, gotten new perspectives around it. So it's a process.
It sounds it. It's really nice to put a voice and a process to a face.
Yes. No, actually, I was kind of curious because I did notice. I just thought they had graduated at this some point because I was reading the front of people who checked it out, which isn't very often. I look at the front of this and you'd think like these are excellent books that they'd be so well read, but instead there's just a few names written on it. And I noticed you like somebody named Danny written on the front. So you've read a few of these, haven't you?
Most of the library, honestly. I've been in Eden Falls all my life, really. So I've been reading in here since I was a student. So yeah, pretty much everything I've, touched at least a little bit.
So you know everything about this town then. See, I just moved here and she'll actually move her chair over to the same side as Danny is now, getting a little bit closer on this end. We have to talk quieter anyway. It's a library.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this town? I've been trying to figure out, like, what does it offer? What's new or interesting around it? Is there anyone really fascinating? Are there any psychics here? Kind of remembering Miss Sparrow.
No. I mean, it's honestly fairly quiet town. Although March or this year rather, we had like this whole thing that there were these blackouts and these robots that were malfunctioning, and there was this huge explosion out to sea, and
Wait. Robots? Explosions? What caused all of that?
well, I honestly, most of the people who know are gone. Not through any like weird spooky stuff, just just up and left. I don't know if you know. I know she's kind of scary. But Darla and her friend, he's nice. Artie, they're kind of the only ones I think who know anything of what really happened.
No, I've met her. She's, well, kind of just her hands. She's pushed me into a few lockers, but it's fine.
She does that.
She seems approachable enough. If you don't stand in front of her, I think it'll be fine. Yeah, no. So she's gone through that. Are we talking? Wait, hold on. Time out. Is this sci-fi? Is this horror? Is this mystery? What genre are we talking about with these explosions and robots that Darla and Artie were involved in?
Oh, sci-fi, 100% sci-fi, with a little bit of kind of neo-noir thriller, kind of espionage, like,
Yes.
but yeah, no, it was fun. I helped out a little, just a little bit, but I love, and she sees poking out of one of your books. Just, I love this, by the way, this bookmark. It's
Oh, do you want
very
one?
cool.
I've got a bunch of them, but just not that one. You can't have that one.
Why? What's that one?
Well, first of all, you don't just take somebody's bookmark. That's really rude.
Oh,
You can't just
I know
ask
that.
for No, it's one that I found. It's just seems special to me, and she'll kind of hold it up, and it's just this odd kind of copper outlined bookmark where the rest of them are like construction paper, right? Laminated papers on this one, but this one quite beautiful with a little design and written word on it. No, it's a personal thing. I don't want to share that one, but name any other color.
Oh no, I'm
Periwinkle?
good. No, I'm good. I use leaves, so
Leaves.
mm,
That
yeah.
is clever because they're pages made from trees, and putting leaves in it is very similar. I like that. It's very back to nature.
Well, I've got a dash for my next class, but it was really nice to meet you, Amelia. You're
Thank you for the
intense,
tip, by
but
the
you're
way.
sweet.
I've heard that. Yes.
Okay, well, bye, and enjoy the H.G. Wells.
Yes. Thank you.
And with that, she heads on off, leaving you in the library. And the rest of you, is there anything that you're wanting to do before the end of the day?
I'll get a quick workout in during my.
It is
period.
very hard to hear you, Justice.
It's just so
about
intense
now?
and brooding.
There
Oh
we
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Way better.
Okay. during my free period, I'm gonna go work out a little bit on my own. Do some pull-ups, do some light jogging in my short shorts with no top and my high tops and long socks. Because it's the 80s.
Whereabouts are you doing this?
Near
Wherever
the
Lana
pitch,
is.
but like away from it, kind of. So like by the field, under the bleachers or around the bleachers, just doing pull-ups on the bleachers.
Okay.
Yeah.
As this is happening, you can hear the sound of the football team practicing in the middle of the pitch. And you also see their coach, Coach Gleason, the Bull. A tall, muscular man in his 50s and with pale, pockmarked skin, and he wears a blue and yellow tracksuit with a matching cap over a balding head, and he is pacing up and down, hands on his hips, and as you exercise, you can't help but notice that while his attention is very much on his boys, his team, he glances over in your direction, and you see a look of quite genuine disgust, as occasionally he just spits on the ground and kind of snarls in your direction before turning back and, "All right, boys, come on, let's hustle," and begins to move up and down the pitch. And the sun is continuing its arc round. And as you continue pulling up against the bleachers and exercising, you hear voices round the other side of the bleachers as a small group are moving from the changing rooms back towards the main school. And while you cannot hear exactly what they are saying, you recognize one of the voices as Lana.
As who? Sorry, missed that.
As Lana.
Oh. Okay, I will saunter over a little bit, like do my jogs towards that side, then jog back. So it looks like I'm trying to work out without being too obvious.
Make a sneak check for me. Let's see how obvious this is.
Yes, sir. Sneak.
Would that also be like maybe a charm?
Yeah, or charm. I'll allow that.
I could try charm, but it's most likely going to be the same difference.
You haven't gotten one. What
There we
is-
go. I finally got one.
Wait,
Finally got
have
two.
you used your curses?
As
I got
you're
one.
as you are running around and sort of fairly effortlessly making it look like this is just a part of your routine, the voices come a little more into focus. "I just need some help with my English homework." God, I can't believe how gullible she is. Jesus. Oh. The look on her face is going to be priceless. You've got the ghost costume set up. Oh, God. And then having to walk back after we drive her out there. Oh, God, you're so awful. Oh, she's going to be so scared. And they continue on out of earshot.
Okay. Huh. No, couldn't be. Amelia? Okay. I go back to my thing, but I have a plan for tonight that I will tell Amelia later.
The school day continues. The final bell of the day echoes throughout the school, and students swarm outside, running into the streets and dissipating into the town of Eden Falls, towards the cinema, towards Eden Falls Mall, towards the coast, while the weather still clings on to what little remains of summer. Where is everyone going as the school day comes to an end?
Darla would be waiting outside for Artie. Probably by a tree across the street. Maybe they meet up there often.
Artie comes out, and one thing, I just need to get one thing, but I'll see you at the diner in a bit.
Okay.
You can play nice, right?
I'm perfectly nice.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's why I've been scared to hug you for, I think, the
What?
entire time I've known you.
What?
I'm kidding. I'll see you there.
All right.
Okay,
We'll talk about that
bye.
later too. And she turns and starts going to the diner.
Actually, Amelia would like to keep an eye out. I would like to try to intercept Darla if I can find her.
I'll say she is standing fairly implacably at this tree while she waits for Artie. She is
Yeah, I'm not trying to
unmoving.
hide.
Yeah.
Perfect. Making a beeline. Like Amelia is almost duck stomping towards you on this end. Darla!
Turning around because she had just turned away to start walking toward the diner. She initially is just, she looks through you. Like she doesn't think that the voice is coming from you.
No, right here. And Amelia will have like her
Oh.
books in hand in front of her, plenty in her backpack, but also some in front, creating a small physical barrier. I have a question, and if you need to push me first, you can do that. Just don't make it too hard.
Do I know you?
Yes, of course. Amelia, and she'll hold out her hand. You pushed me in the locker a few class periods weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't remember everybody I push.
Well, now you do. You know me. It's Amelia. That's my name, and you can remember that from now on. Also, here, if this helps, and she'll pull out a bookmark that has her name on it. That way you can remember and maybe use it for all the books that you're
What is this made
definitely
of?
reading. It's definitely construction paper, quite simply. But her name in cursive at the bottom, it just says Amelia, and you see little different flower designs. Actually, the same tulips that her dad was planting earlier were drawn on them.
She takes it, and initially, her immediate thought is to just crumple it, but she resists because she is trying to be a more okay-ish human. So she just kind of like slides it in her pocket. Thanks.
Listen, I
Is
don't
that
know
your
if you have
question?
somewhere where you have to be, but I've got questions. So think of that
Hang
as a
on,
gift.
you said one
in
question.
exchange. Well, maybe it might be follow-up, depending on what your answer is. So, yes, I don't know exactly how to begin this. Danny told me that you knew some of the strange things happening here that happened earlier in the spring, like the explosions and robots. And honestly, I've been dying to know a lot more about it because there's so much more that we don't know in this world that we can't explain. And I've been trying to find more books that talk about it. But if you've actually
She's gonna
lived
place
it,
her hand over your mouth. Shh,
Um,
you're asking and talking too much. That's not a question. That's a
But-
paragraph.
mm.
She'll remove her hand.
But leading up to it, could you tell me about that, perhaps? Like what you saw, or what it was, or what actually happened? Because we know in those newspapers, they're not giving a full story. It just doesn't feel like all of it's there.
Well, I mean, that's true. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Amelia, it's on
Amelia.
actually the
Sorry,
bookmark
I'm
that I gave
trying.
you.
But
Mhm.
it's in my pocket.
Oh.
I have somewhere to be right now, so I
Oh.
can't answer this.
Right.
But
What about later? Anytime. You list it. Are you a morning person? You could join me on my paper run. And we could talk. Do you bike?
I don't join.
Oh. Do I join you then?
No, I don't
Oh.
know you.
Well, I mean, you do. My name's Amelia.
That
It's
doesn't
on the
mean you know
bookmark that
somebody.
Okay. Tomorrow then. I'll meet you tomorrow here at the tree after class.
Oh
After
my
all
God.
of the school.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Pleasure to meet you,
Great.
Amelia.
No,
She
Wait, you
walks
remembered
away
my
from
name.
you. You can keep talking. She's
I'll
just
see
like,
you next week or tomorrow, one of those days. It's fine. You're not even listening. It's okay.
Nico,
That's
what are you
me.
doing as the day comes to an end?
Kind of just processing what Artie wants. He was so unclear. I have no idea what's happening. It feels like a trap. It wasn't about a girl, which
too,
I don't know
best
why
friend.
he was sweating then. Unless he was lying. Was he lying? Probably not. Artie doesn't seem like he'd be good at lying. Artie's not even good at telling the truth. Yeah, I just don't know.
Okay. And Drake.
Okay. I'm going to be coming out looking for Amelia. And then if I find her, I will approach her.
I'll say you probably see her shouting into seemingly nothing, just
Cool.
screaming down the street.
Remember,
Okay.
my name's Amelia. Eh?
Come up from behind and tap her on the shoulder.
Oh, God, you're terrifying. You can't
Sorry.
stand that close to people.
Sorry. About tonight.
Tonight, yes. Oh, I completely forgot. Yes, tonight, 5 o'clock. My bike. Where's the bike rack? I park my bike at there every time, and I never know where it is. And she's looking again,
know-
trying to figure out where her bike is.
Do you know where you're going? Or are you doing it at your house?
No, she said she'd pick me up. So do you just want to meet at my house and then we all go together?
I'll probably meet you there, but
Right. She mentioned something like a waterfall or a nice spot. I guess apparently it's okay for studying, and she gave me a piece of paper and a pencil, which makes me think I'm going to be the one writing it. Those students.
makes sense. Should I do not an investigation, comprehend to know where the waterfall might be?
I will say, considering your hideout, Drake,
Cool.
you would be aware that within the depths of Eden Forest, there are the falls for which the town is named. They are a frequent haunt for students and kids around the summertime, especially, where the lake underneath moves out into a river that leads into the sea. It is warm and balmy. It's getting colder now, but it is prominent and quite high up in the forest. It is easy enough to drive there, and it is a frequent tourist spot as well, but you would be familiar with Eden Falls.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I think I know where that is, so I will meet you there.
Yeah, probably just shortly after 5. Don't be late because other than the actual work, I don't really think I can entertain Lana for that long. She's not exactly the thickest book that I've gone through, so it'd
No
be
problem.
helpful.
I need the help anyway, so you're doing me a favor.
Right. Well, make sure you also bring some paper that you can write on, not your drawing paper, and maybe pudding for everyone.
Sure thing.
That was because it was I spilled it. Never
Oh,
mind.
right, yeah. No, I get it.
I'm
This
funny.
time we'll keep it off of each other.
Yes.
You can just eat it, right?
Perfect. No.
Okay, I should go, but
Wait. But since you can see over everyone, can you at least before you leave point me in the direction of the bike rack?
yeah, they're right over there.
Over there. There. Never. She'll wander her way over, just aimlessly, hoping that it's in that general direction.
You find them. After some time, you find them, and you are able to dislodge your bike and head on home. Nico and Darla. Who arrives at the Amblin Diner first?
I would say probably Darla because you stayed after
think
class
so?
a little bit, didn't you?
Oh, well, I didn't really stay after class. I left as class ended.
Oh wait, or is that the other period? I don't remember.
So there have been several periods between now. That was
Oh.
only third
Yeah,
period,
then
so-
I don't know, probably Nico then.
Yeah, I would go right at because Artie didn't say when. Artie just said after school. So I'm like, okay, school's over. I guess we're going right there.
So, Nico, heading towards this place that you have not frequented before, you find yourself met with this very simple, single-story building. Its architecture very much rooted in the 1950s. It looks like a Hopper painting taken from the page. It is a very 1950s inspired diner, and you imagine from the materials as well, this is probably when it was built as well. And outside you see a number of cars parked, including a black and white police car with the code EF001 displayed on its side. And as you step inside, you see that the building's simplicity continues, with black and white tiled floors, red leather booths and a long bar, and a handful of patrons sit around. It is very quiet. Very, very quiet. And you see a handful, and there is an individual sat at the bar who is deep in conversation with the seeming owner, and they are deep in conversation over a black coffee. And eventually she manages to tear herself away to come over to you and, "Hi, sweetie, how can I help?"
Hi, I was sitting here waiting for friends of mine, but if I could have an order of French fries and a cola, that would be great.
"Of course you can, sweetie. I'll have that right over."
Incredible, thank you.
"No worries."
Does it matter where I sit? Can I sit anywhere?
She looks around at all of the empty tables and, "Take your pick."
Yes. I'm gonna go pick a window seat so that I can see Artie when he shows up.
To your, I don't know if it would be displeasure, but Artie is not the first person that you
Hey!
What?
see.
Artie didn't tell me anyone else was coming.
Darla, you approach the diner. You step in and you see the familiar faces. You see Martin over by the bar, Blackbeard dipping down into his black coffee as he's deep in conversation with Deborah, the owner. They laugh. You swear they flirt a little over these conversations every day, but Deborah sees you and walks over and, well, Troublemaker.
Hey. It's
Hi.
good to see you, Deborah. Have you seen
too.
Artie in here? I can't see him.
No, he, not today. I haven't. Would you like your usual?
Please. Also, have you seen another kid wears big glasses? He's kind of a dork.
Well, I saw a very handsome boy in glasses just over there.
You're funny. And she turns her head and what does Nico look like right now?
He's kind of just like fidgeting with his thumbs and like tapping the table. You see him like pulling out like straws, and then he's like arranging them in different ways and then counting them and then mixing them up and like repeating it like a little almost like neurotically, very clearly like stimming as he's just like passing time.
Okay. I think
Yeah,
that's
feel bad
my,
about this, you jerk. I sense it. Come on.
That's
on.
my quarry. I'm gonna go sit over there.
Okay. It'll be right over in a second.
Thanks. Darla approaches you at a pretty slow pace, mainly because she's trying to waste time. Obviously, it's at a pace that is not as noticeable. Like, why is she walking so slow? She knows what she's doing, probably dragging her sneakers against, and you hear like the a little bit as it's against the tile. And then eventually, she just slides into the booth and plops down in front of you. Hey,
Hi.
Artie's not here yet, huh?
What? How'd you know Artie was coming here?
Because Artie invited me.
What?
Did Artie not tell you I was coming?
I did. No. What? No. I didn't even say why I'm here. Why am I here?
He didn't tell you why you were here?
No.
That's funny.
What? No, that's confusing. Your definitions are wrong. I'll get you a dictionary.
Alright.
Why are we here?
Well, because Artie has been making something with tech. And evidently you're good at programming, so
Oh,
I think he wanted to ask your help. I don't know why he invited me.
why didn't he just tell me that?
When did he ask you? Was he busy?
He
Was he
asked me, like,
scatterbrained?
the
He's always scatterbrained.
beginning of class, like the beginning of the school day.
I don't
I
know.
was really weird about it.
You'll have to ask him. And Darla's gonna awkwardly look out the window too. Like, hurry up, Artie. Where are you?
So, you're friends with Artie?
Yeah. I'm friends with Artie.
Who else are you friends with?
That's about it.
So on purpose?
Yes.
Do you want it to stay that way?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And he stops talking at that point.
A solid 15 minutes passes.
Darla's eating. Yeah.
Plates are brought out, emptied, taken away.
Nico's like
Okay.
very meticulous about like he separates he like arranges some of the fries in like a straight line at first. Cool. And then like puts a little bit of ketchup on each of them and they're
Darla watches you like you're a monster.
Mhm.
She just like
Did you wa- did-
horror
did
is
you
like,
want
why
one?
do you eat like that?
Yeah, I
Why?
like to order before disarray.
That takes so much effort.
Lots of things in life take effort, but that's kind of what makes them worth it. Do you want one?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I
You
do
can have
not put that near me.
one. You can have one.
Thank you, but I don't want one.
But you don't even know if they did. You think it's weird, but it's because you haven't tried it.
I think it's weird because it takes too long.
Not everything
Just
has
squirt
to be
the
done
ketchup on the
fast.
plate, dip the fry in the ketchup, and then eat it.
Well,
Your
just
fries are
because
cold
someone
by
does
then.
something differently, it doesn't mean it's inherently wrong, Darla.
I don't like you.
You don't have to like me to know that I'm right.
Is Artie showing up yet? How
As
about the bully that's
Ooh.
in the corner?
The last thing, before Artie shows up, I want Nico to ask, "Do you even like yourself?"
Ding, 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 as the door opens and Artie comes in, and completely opposing the mood currently in this booth, just
Wait,
sits down and
did I hear that though?
make a comprehend check.
Or were you trying to hide that though? You gonna try to
Nope,
sneak?
saying it to your face.
Oh, then I heard
He
it.
was- yeah.
I thought you mumbled it.
Nope.
Artie
gonna
sits
pocket
down
that.
on your side of the booth, Darla, and hey, how we doing?
Why didn't you tell me she was gonna be here?
Artie, I don't want
Oh.
to be here.
No. Answer your question. Sorry, I was in a rush. I was trying to hit up Mr. Beck to see. He's the custodian. Whether he had any wrenches for tonight. And that's why I wanted you here, Darla. I need wrench power.
Ah, your muscle. I got you.
Yeah. Cool. I guess you two have been getting acquainted.
She said it's
Yeah.
weird and that she doesn't like me.
Okay.
More or less
Cool.
words, yes.
Okay. That's kind of par for the course. I'm really glad
Tell
you're
him
both
to
here.
side-eye Artie at that.
Oh, he just sort of like looks at you and I'm kidding, obviously. I've just been to Jay Wood's radio repair to buy the last part of my project. Nico, I
Huh?
need your help with this. And he just places a radio on the table. A very simple radio, just a household radio, very dusty, very old, but he just places it down and just leans next to it expectantly.
He like takes off his glasses and pulls out a cloth and cleans them, puts that back on. So you want me to see if I can help you get this working?
No, not exactly. You're being new. You probably don't know a lot of the stuff that went down last year, right? I mean, at the beginning of this year, got it, last school year. I mean, and he kind of, yeah. I mean, I was in hospital for most of it, but Darla, you want to give her like a, or I can't.
Do you know anything, Nico? Seen newspapers, heard news, radio talk, anything?
Okay, it doesn't matter. What do you want? Because alrighty, just for future reference, when you want someone to help you do something, it might be better to tell them what you need instead of like inviting them out to a place where you can hang out and get food, and then you just ask them for something, because it feels weird.
Well, I'm also, I should make it very clear, this is on me. Also, this is a really cool place, and I thought you might like to hang here in future. Maybe. I don't know. Basically, okay, so, very long story, very short. Okay, so basically, back in March, the town started having all of these blackouts, and there was basically this big conspiracy. There was this electromagnetrine pulse that was being sent out. It was affecting robots. It was a whole thing. And Darla and some old friends of ours, they were
Some people who
able
used to live here.
Yeah. They were all able to solve it. Anyway, it was this industrialist, this guy called Robert Logan, and he was building military tech out to sea. It doesn't matter, but basically all of it was being powered by this battery. It was like this black box kind of thing, a black box that he stole or was given by someone inside the loop. So we've been trying to find out more about the black box, what it is, who stole it from the loop, who gave it to Robert Logan in the first place, and we've come up with nothing, which is where you hopefully come in. So I've been building something on the outskirts of town in the forest that I think will get some answers. I got the idea from a friend of ours, Darla, you remember Jackie? When they used a radio to pinpoint some coordinates, and I thought, what if you could do the same thing but with radio frequencies? So I've been building an antenna in very basic terms. Basically, it means we can listen to radio communication, and specifically, we can listen into the loop. Maybe. I don't know, but we can see if there's any strange chatter or anything. I can build the thing. I have built the thing. I just need someone who can program the thing.
So you want to help or not?
Okay, I'll help.
Ah, okay, cool.
When Artie does that, it like bumps the seat a little bit. You know, like those old diner seats where there's an air pocket and somebody bounces up.
I can't tell you how awesome that is. I've been like building this thing in secret for such a long time, and Nico, now that I'm really sorry I wasn't just up front with you, I was in a rush this morning. That's no excuse though. I'm gonna be straight with you in future, okay? I promise. I'll be like straight down the line, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Amazing. Yeah. And he sort of turns to you, Darla, and kind of...
How soon do we want to start working on this?
I mean, I can hook it up tonight.
Let's do it tonight. Sooner the better, and
Sure.
that way I can let Jenkins know.
I'll just let my parents know, and I can come meet you somewhere.
What are you gonna tell your parents?
That I'm gonna be out.
What?
Okay, just don't
Why?
tell them what we're doing.
Why? I tell my
Because
parents
it's
everything.
illegal.
What?
What? I didn't. What?
What do you mean it's illegal?
And looking over, you can see that in the window adjacent to the police car out front, there are actually a couple of cops that are literally sat a few booths down. And Artie's head just kind of goes over the top and then comes back, and maybe we should just with the I word.
Wait,
but
you're not a.
no,
you're
no,
legally tapping into the loop?
no, it's not.
Well, yeah,
So-
we're not asking permission.
But because we think there are bad people who are inside the loop, not all of them, just a few bad apples.
So it is, or is not?
Yes, Artie, quit beating around the bush. It is
Okay,
illegal.
yeah.
But at the
it's
same
a con-
time, we keep it quiet. And if we get caught, you just blame me. It's easy.
Blame what?
Blame me.
Why?
I have a decent repertoire with the police here.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you a scapegoat.
Oh, it's fine with me.
I don't blame other people for my choices.
Okay, fine. Then you take the heat. I'll blame you.
Why are you doing this if this is so dangerous and it's illegal and it's bad?
Artie, he is way too soft for this.
He's
No, you just have a sad heart. What is the point of this? I don't know why you're so angry. But get over it.
I'm not angry. I'm actually pretty calm right now.
Yay! This is cool, right? This is
Yeah.
start of a
blast.
beautiful friendship. Yeah.
Look, fine. I'll tell my parents that I'm going to go do something that they can't ask about, and they won't ask me questions.
That's saying a lot
Okay.
still. Just tell me we're gonna go hang out with
It's-
friends.
But it's okay that different people have different dynamics with.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go.
Okay, cool. Where do you
I
want to
like
meet?
this.
We can meet near. Where's a good point for us all?
We can probably meet outside the junkyard.
I can probably find that. Okay.
Okay, cool. Nico, really nice to properly meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll meet you at. When are we meeting? Like 2 hours? Is that okay?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
All right. Gives me time to get dinner and get my flashlight and whatever. What kind of tools do I need? Do I need any tools? Do you have everything?
I have everything to build it. Just if there's anything you can think of for actually programming, that's where I'm at a loss. Really.
All right. I'll get my stuff. I'll meet you there. Let's get this done.
Okay.
Yeah, see you in a couple hours, Nico.
And he looks at Darla. He starts saying something and then just bites his tongue. It's nice to meet you, Darla. Again.
You too.
Yes. And he pays at the he leaves the tip, walks out, does not look back in the window as he walks away, and he kind of like pulls his collar up, hands in his pocket, head's a little low, and gets to his bike and makes his way home.
When Nico leaves, by the way, Darla immediately puts her elbow on the table, her head in her hand, and is looking at Artie. What the hell was that?
He's nice. He's
Sure.
nice.
Too nice.
I'm too nice.
Yeah, which is why I don't understand why you hang out with me.
You're nice. When you want to be.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be. I did nice already. And you see how that got me.
I know it sucks.
Yeah, already it does, so please stop trying to push people on me. I'll work with people just fine, because I want to figure this out. But other than that...
Okay. Fine, okay.
Cool. So,
Cool.
see you in a couple hours, I guess.
Yeah, see you at the junkyard.
Yeah. And Darla waits for him to move because he's blocking her.
He steps aside awkwardly.
She kind of, not fully intending to do this, but she does kind of hit his shoulder on the way out. It's not like rough, but it's definitely I could have moved a little bit more, but I didn't.
He just is left nodding in the diner. And Drake, where are you headed?
So I am rushing home. Well, sort of rushing. I have a little bit of time. But when I get home, I'm contemplating what I heard. Still can't really believe it, but I grab an oversized sweater and stuff it in my bag. Keep thinking about it. And then I head out to the falls to get there before Lana and Amelia will even get close, and then just wait around to see what's gonna happen.
Are you stopping off anywhere on the way or just straight there?
Just home and then there. I don't want to be late.
And what is home for Drake?
Home is relatively sterile for the most part. Nothing on the walls really. It's a single story, 3-bedroom house. One room is locked at all times. One is from my sister, and then my room. My sister's room is been abandoned for a few years because she's been off to college. But she uses it during the summer every once in a while for a couple weeks before she goes back out. There's some knickknacks around the house from my dad's travels. He'll bring things home whenever he goes to like Japan or to Italy. He'll bring a little knickknack and then we'll put it on the counter. So there's like a little diorama of Rome on the coffee table. And then like a little mini katana that I have in my bedroom on my computer desk that my dad brought me back from some temple out there. And then my room is very basic. I have a dresser, I have a desk, and I have a bed. And that's about it. In the living room, there's just the couch, the coffee table. We don't even really have a TV. No one's ever really home to enjoy it. The kitchen is where most of my peace comes, because I'll be cooking a lot of my meals for myself, because no one else around to do it. So yeah, that's my home.
You head into Eden Forest. The sun slowly beginning to set in the distance. As Amelia, is there anything you're doing before you're picked up by Lana?
She immediately, as soon as she gets home, puts her books, just kind of slings the thing into her bedroom, and then in this rush of things, suddenly like slows down right on the outside of June's door and knocks very softly. Are you up?
Hey.
Oh, good. How are you feeling? And she'll kind of barge in until stops at the foot of the bed. Sorry.
You see June just pushing herself up the pillows and just sitting back. She looks very tired. She can barely lift her arms, and you can see, even through her smile, there is a weariness belying her very young age. She just looks at you and, yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Any good dreams, perhaps? Or would you like a couple of books? I brought a few more that you can then hopefully put your mind into the right place.
I really like the Tolkien that you gave me.
Yes. No.
That's really good.
There's more. We can always keep going with more. That turns out, they're a bit verbose, but you'll like it just the same. I promise. And that gives you more time to read all of it. It's extensive world building. Here. I'll find more. I'm sure the library's taking forever when it's trying to get all the books in for you, but I'll promise I'll get more of them, and then you can read them and take your time. All of the worlds at once. Any other books that you've heard of, or anything else, or particular genres, I'll find them for you.
Amelia.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. No.
Thank you.
How about new posters? We've been looking at these for a long time, and maybe if
How about you just tell me? Just sit and tell me about your day. I'd really like to hear about your day.
Of course. Sure. Well, we had a science class, and we were working on this, dinosaur claw of sorts. It was dirty as all get out, but it was actually really exciting to see how large it is. And did you know essentially chickens are dinosaurs at the end of the day? Can you imagine those little creatures that we pluck the feathers off and eat every night at dinner? Those are dinosaurs, essentially. Do you imagine that dinosaurs went around clucking as well?
You feel the soft weight of your sister against your arm. You see that once more she's fallen asleep. And as you stop talking, she very briefly just taps you and just, no, keep going.
Well, you'll never believe. Of course, we had our English class today, which I love that and I excel greatly, but her analysis was absolutely wretched. It was just so shallow, and I don't know why she's teaching the class. And she'll just keep muttering on and on, focusing more on creating a rhythm to her voice, almost a lullaby to keep June going.
It is a rhythm and a lullaby that you have given many, many times before. Increasingly so as the years have gone on. And it is appreciated and cherished and loved by your sister. And evening falls. It becomes darker outside. As you have dinner, your parents ask you about your day, and June is carried down and placed next to the table in her recliner chair. And there is a as a horn is sounded outside.
Sorry, I forgot to mention I've got a study session.
Oh, wonderful. Who is?
What was her name? Lana? I don't know. I'm sure it'll be great. I've got another friend. Drake is going to be there too. Plus, he's paying me, so a few extra dollars coming in.
Oh, wonderful. Well, your career in teaching starts now, then, I suppose.
Yes. Well, do it some better than some of those teachers out there. But it'll be promised, and I'll be back before midnight. Is that fine?
Absolutely fine with me. I don't know about you, dear. Absolutely fine, Amelia. Just be safe.
Of course.
And take your flashlight with you as well, just in case it's getting dark.
Yes, flashlight. Does this one work? Does it have the batteries in it?
Second drawer down, and there's a little bit of rumbling through as sort of tape and batteries are procured and handed over to you, and they hug you goodbye, and they make no promises that they'll be up by the time you get back, but a trust is there as you step out. And you are met by Lana in a red car, roof up, and electric charger sitting elegantly on the back of the vehicle, and for expediency's sake, you drive off towards the forest. As Drake, you lie in wait. And Nico, Darla, and Artie, you are met at the scrapyard. And you head on foot away from the town and over fields and into the forest itself. Is there anything that you are discussing on your walk to the falls?
Yeah. Darla, during this walk, probably being very quiet amongst them, if any chatter. And then in a moment of a break of conversation, she would direct it at Nico. So where'd you move from?
A place called List Haven.
That's actually
It was,
a cool name.
My parents move around a lot, and it was a place that was really good for research. So
What brought
my
your
parents are
here?
nerds.
Yeah. What brought them here?
They just needed a change of scenery.
Alright.
Eden Falls seemed quieter, apparently.
It is quieter, but I don't think for long. Not until we figure this out.
Aren't you afraid?
No.
Do you have any military training?
Not technically.
Do you?
My dad's
you-
former military. And he
Oh.
taught me a lot growing up.
Is that why you're so calm about all of this?
No, there's a lot. And having already been through stuff with this, it's kind of fine. And I have less
Are you
people to worry
okay?
about. Yeah.
Wow. Alright.
Are you okay? That was
No.
a hard question for Darla to ask.
I don't think so. Not really.
You're not okay?
No.
Darla's gonna look at Artie. Like, why did
Hardy
you...
just gives a bit of a shrug and is like, first I'm hearing about this.
Most people don't ask. Life is hard. I'm a weird kid. I've been told that I'm neurotic and boundaries are very important. Clear ideas are very important. That's why all the teachers keep checking in on me, which is super embarrassing. But I'm also blunt about, if you ask me what I'm feeling, I'll tell you. So I don't think right now I'm okay. Plus, there was a weird man who was looking at me through a window this morning. It's just
I'm
been
sorry.
a long day.
What? Darla stops and makes this line of them walking into a triangle.
As you do, can both of you make comprehend checks for me, please?
2 luck
Hey,
points.
since I hung out with my anchor, can I be not exhausted?
You can.
Thank you.
absolutely, yes.
Sorry, what did you say to do?
Comprehend check for me. I want to see which one of you rolls higher.
2. Excuse me. I'm using 2 of my blesses.
Okay.
I don't know how many I'm using it until I roll. Okay, I have 1. What can I do? What do we
You said
have?
comprehend?
Comprehend, yeah.
Heck yeah. Oh my god, 3 successes.
I'm not even gonna bother then. I want you to get more.
Nico, as you are talking and as the two of you are opening up, something crumples underfoot. You've been walking through the forest for some time now, and most of the trees around you are evergreen. But whatever crumples underneath your foot doesn't feel like a leaf. And looking down, you see a comic book, lovingly wrinkled and thoroughly worn through use. Its cover is a cacophony of colours, even in the darkness of the forest, displaying bright purple skies and a figure in a bright yellow spacesuit, wearing an opaque spherical helmet hiding their features, carrying a ray gun in their hand as strange aliens descend from every side, and on its front there is a title, Spaceman from Pluto. And to one side of this you see issue number 52, with more writing underneath it, more faded.
What's it say?
What do you have? What is that?
You can.
I found it. There's a comic book. Spaceman.
Is that from
You can-
Comic Kid?
Maybe. I don't... This is a good issue.
Wait,
Nico,
sorry.
can you
Yeah.
investigate for me, please?
Yeah, when you say it like that, I'm scared. But yes. 1 success.
Here they come.
I will say, with 1 success, inside this book, which, in a very rare turn for you, is one you do not recognize. In fact, you do not even know the title. But as you look through, flicking through, it's very retro style of artwork.
Oh.
It's very kind of like Buck Rogers. But inside you see adverts for toys. Strange, complex toys you've not seen before. And towards the middle there's also strange writing. What looks to be something in code, beginning in 3 W's.
Oh.
Don't really understand it, but underneath this, there is also a simple white square with smaller black squares inside, and an instruction underneath, scan here. It's very confusing, and you don't know whether it's part of the narrative or whether it's an advert for some other similar book, but it's unlike any comic you've seen.
Whoa. Comic's kind of weird. There's like this code and then like a scan here thing. That's weird. And then I show him.
Could I tell that this was TJ's?
Not recognized this before.
Okay.
Although, no. You will not recognize this.
Does it
You can-
seem like it was recently dropped there?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. Ah, 2 success, baby.
I'll say with 2 successes, it looks very, very old. Very loved. It is wrinkled and it is discolored. But as you look and you see Nico flicking through it, you can't help but notice some of the faded writing underneath the issue 52. It is a date. Date.
Darla is gonna quickly reach her hand out and be like, can I look at this?
Go tentatively hand it over.
She would take it. She wouldn't be rough with you. And she would just like pull it closer because it's dark out right now.
It says the 12th of September, 2024.
That's weird. It's got a future date on it.
Over in the falls, Drake, can you make an investigate check for me, please?
Absolutely.
We're in danger.
Perfect.
You see, as you sit next to the falls, the water falling down beside you, Your vantage point is high. This is one of the highest places within Eden Falls. An Eden Forest, rather. Light brown rock and dirt towers below you in rough, winding shapes up to a grassy cliff edge. And from this edge, frothy white water comes tumbling down from above, crashing into the expansive lake sitting below you, a giant circular basin stretching out into a river that winds through the trees beyond, and out of sight towards the coastline. You're waiting there for some time, until you see headlights pulling up at the base of this large body of water that connects to this river. It is a red car, and you see from a distance 2 individuals stepping out. Are you doing anything?
Are they parking or are they still driving? Oh, you said they're
Parked
stepping out,
now.
so yeah.
Yeah.
I'll start heading down.
Okay.
Not
So,
noisily, but also not like super stealthily.
okay. We'll do a low sneak roll for me then, please. If you can you just need 1 success to be not too stealthy.
The dice will be nice.
I got
Oh
one.
my-
Yay,
Yes.
worked.
You sweet spot of sneakiness. You make your way down. As you have to very much like climb, there's almost a rock climbing element to it as you are making your way down. There are certainly sort of footholds that have been made. This is a hangout for many, many kids, and there are so many shortcuts that have been made all the way down this cliff edge. But as Drake begins to climb down, Amelia, you step out of the doors of this car, and Lana turns to you and, so, here we are. I thought it would be nice and scenic. You ever been here before?
No, I haven't. Where are we supposed to do our workout here?
Well, I mean, up top is lovely. I love it here in summer. We used to come and we would swim all the time. A friend of mine, Chloe, and I mean, I would jump from the top of the cliff and into the water and swim for hours, and sometimes explore some of the caves as well, which are so old and full of so much history, and they're very cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm?
This is a good thing I brought my flashlight. I guess we could study up there.
Or,
oh.
if you want it, we could stay down here. We could explore the caves a little bit first.
Sure. I guess we could do that. As long as we get all the work done that we're supposed to before it gets too late. You know, sort of thing. I mean, you can't pass the class if you don't do the work, and she'll pull out a notebook and...
Yeah, no, cool, obviously. But yeah, no, we should see what's, because, I know it's Halloween, it's cliched, but, do you believe in ghosts?
I mean, there's no proof that they aren't real, so I by default at this point, we would have to suppose that they are probably real, some sort of supernatural opportunity in which the soul hasn't left the body yet, so I believe that there's a possibility. Why do you think there's actually ghosts here?
Well, and she sort of steadies herself a bit, sort of like almost rolling her eyes fully back, and at this point, Drake, you are around halfway down the cliff as the sun is setting on the horizon. A line slowly moving up the waterfalls as the pit below becomes darker and darker. Well, down here there are a whole bunch of tunnels, and they say that down in the caves, back in the, I don't know, 1800s, I was never very good, but a group of prisoners hid down there to escape their jailers. And the chains got trapped and they drowned in the waters, and apparently, if you listen, you can still hear them screaming.
I mean, that's a basic scary story trope, so, I mean, surprise ending there. Thanks for spoiling that. But sure, I'm sure it's nothing, but we can go check it out if you know the way there, and then once we get that done, then we can work on your report, right?
Well, yeah, no, I just, I
course.
figured as the new kid, I should probably show you the tourist destinations and the spots of Eden Falls if you were helping me out.
I appreciate it, and actually, I do like to know some of the interesting parts of it. So, sure.
Oh yeah,
lead the
no,
way.
we should go. And you see her almost looking over your shoulder in the direction of the caves. Oh yeah, no, let's go. Come on, and sort of leads the way along the edge of the lake. Drake.
Slinging that backpack around. She's got her flashlight ready to go and follows.
What are you doing, Drake, as you descend from above and Amelia and Lana begin to pass below you?
Do I notice anybody else around?
Make an investigate check for me.
I figured as much.
Don't
You
forget,
can-
you do have blesses, and you have 3 5s. If you have 3 blesses, that's a 3 success.
Okay, I'll use a bless. If it's not too late.
No, not at all.
I'll do it.
You see, behind the curtain of white water that falls down from above, behind the waterfall and in the caves, you see movement. Small movement as you see 2 individuals in very preppy outfits throwing on what look to be bedsheets. Bedsheets covered in red stains and smears, and they appear to be looking through the water and hiding behind rocks.
Am I closer to that, or are they closer to that? Or like Amelia and Lana?
I mean, with a decent body check, you could probably get there quicker.
Okay,
Or a move
I will
check.
try to get there quicker.
Okay, so if you can make a move check for me, please. You need 2 successes to get there before them.
Okay, try this.
You
Blessings.
shimmy. Those pull-ups on the bleachers are doing you proud as you make your way round, and you're literally like Spider-Manning over a completely oblivious Lana and Amelia. As for Nico and Darla and Artie, you continue on. You are getting deeper and deeper into the forest, until eventually, over the crest of a hill silhouetted against the eerie glow of the setting sun, you see a strange and alien shape. Tall, skeletal, looks like a rough metal pylon with all manner of additional wires and boxes and magnetrine dishes. Darla, to you, it looks like little more than a random collection of metal junk, but to you, Nico, the more you look at it, and as Artie approaches it, the more sense it makes. And at its base, you see plugged a large magnetrine battery as Artie walks over and begins to plug in the radio that he showed you at the diner. As you walk along, comic still in hand, what are you doing?
Hey, let's get to work. And Nico just dives in.
Okay, yeah, we're just looking for any signals that we can latch onto. We're nice and remote out here. We're high up, so there's very little trees blocking us. So
Where
anyway,
are we
I'll let.
in proximity to Amelia
I
and
would-
Drake?
Make a contact check. I'd say contact or investigate, whichever you'd rather.
How much are you gonna make me need?
I don't know. Sam.
Yeah, let's see a reroll. Oh, I got a 1.
So I would say, as you stand there, and you let Artie and Nico do their thing. They just sort of go to town on this metal wires, and you can see that every so often Artie calls you over for help with like tightening the wrenches. But you can hear over the crest of the hill, and you've walked round Eden Forest a lot over the last few months. You can hear softly in the distance the familiar rumble of Eden Falls itself. You're probably not far, and it'll be an easy walk back to town along the river after this is done.
How far is that walk?
Back to town?
No. To the waterfall.
Falls. You're probably looking at around a 10-minute walk, I'd say.
Okay.
It's manageable.
Looking at Nico and Artie. Do you need me for anything else?
I don't know. Nico, do you need anything, or do you just need us to shush?
I mean, you can talk. I'm just gonna eventually get to a point where it's gonna start just expanding out in the radius, where it's like I send a ping comes back, and I'm just gonna keep sending them further and further and further. So get comfy, I guess.
Okay, cool.
I want to walk around the perimeter. Just to make sure, especially with all the animal attacks.
Okay, cool. Right, and Nico, if you can make a tinker check for me, please. Or programming,
Come
whichever you would
on.
rather.
Get a big one.
I'll do the other one. Let's do Tinker.
Okay.
3 successes.
We will come back to that as
Dope.
Darla. You head off, creating a perimeter around Artie's antenna. Drake. The sound of the waterfall rumbling around you. You find yourself crouching above cave, and you can hear, even over the roar, whispers within. Just, she's close. Okay, come on. What are you doing?
I'll drop in the cave and then ask them, "The hell are you guys doing?"
There is an immediate scream, and Amelia, you hear this too, and Lana as well. Just, oh my God.
It is haunted. We should go check it out. And almost excitedly, she'll reach and grab Lana's wrist and just head straight towards the screaming sound.
Careful. And as you stand there, Drake, both individuals just tear off these sheets and just shout, "Oh my God, you almost scared us half to death!" And Darla, from where you are, you hear echoing out.
What kind
from
of
the
scream does
direction
that
of the
sound to
falls.
me? Like a horror, primal kind of "we're dying" kind of scream.
It is guttural and blood
no.
draining. It is a lot. As Amelia, you rush to the side, and your torch going around, it is almost immediately blocked by Drake, who stands in front of you, and two of Lana's netball friends who are just there holding these bloodied white sheets, and they are terrified as Drake just turns round to look at you.
What are you doing here already? Did you find the ghost? We heard a big scream, and so we thought, oh, there must be like the actual haunted part, because Lana here was going to actually show me some of the haunted spots around here.
She was she? Lana? Do you want to explain any of this?
And she kind of isn't paying attention to you, Drake. She is looking at her friends and going, "Oh, Stacy, you got fake blood all over my bedsheets. You know how hard that is to get out." What do you mean they were stacked like this? Oh, they stink. And
Wait, your bed sheets. This?
Okay, we were doing a Halloween prank, and as you say this, Nico, up in the antenna, static begins to come through the radio.
Whoa.
And Artie immediately kneels down next to you. What? Did you do it?
Yeah, there's a signal coming through.
what kind of signal? What can we focus in on it?
Yeah, I can try to feed out the static, and I'm gonna see if I can clear it up a little bit, even just by like minutely adjusting, like 0.02, 0.03, so on, so on.
Painstakingly adjusting the radio with your 3 successes. The terrors stop their growth. They could present a very real danger. Yeah, of course it's to do with the box. Yet they are appearing all over the town, and if we're not careful, yes, it will spread. Of course it. And as this happens, you hear a scream in the distance, the same one that Darla heard emanating from the falls.
No.
No.
Artie, what is this?
I don't know, but, we should, and as this is happening, Amelia and Drake, can you both make comprehend checks for me, please?
Wait, I have 1 bless. Will that do anything?
It might do.
Yes.
What's...
You have a 5. Oh, wait, never mind. That was the wrong person. Yes, you have a 5.
Oh my gosh, you rolled 4 ones, babe. I'm so sorry.
So, as this argument is breaking out between Lana and her friends, and as Drake is looking on, your flashlight moves from the red stains on the bed sheets, stains that Lana insists she did not put there, and down to the cavern floor. A strange smell fills the cave, a sharp, tangy, metallic odor mingled with the unmistakable stench of rotting meat. And as your torch moves up, you see streaks of red across the cavern floor beneath you. As
Lana? Is this one of your pranks?
What are you talking about, new kid?
This! Amelia! These stains!
And as your torch continues to move up, it meets a large pile of animal carcasses at the end of the tunnel. And beyond it, something moves.
Everybody be really quiet. And get out of here now.
Yeah.
Can everyone make sneak checks for me, please? Those who
Yeah.
are present. As for Nico and Artie up, away from the waterfall, Artie is looking around for Darla, and he looks at you, Nico. Do we just leave this here now? Is this going to keep on feeding radio waves, or
Yeah, you might as well just leave it. I know what frequency it is. We can probably get access to it from a different spot and just bounce back to it.
Okay.
Artie, go home.
Okay. You're coming with, though, right?
Yeah, I'm not staying here.
Okay, cool. Let's find Darla.
Oh,
Oh?
yeah.
You don't want to do that? We can go home together. The scream and...
Fine, let's go find Darla. Fine, let's go find Darla.
Oh, okay. And he leaves at quite a pace, leaving you alone with the antenna. Are you doing anything before you leave for home?
I want to listen to those voices again. And you don't have to give me details, but are any of those voices familiar?
One is. The male voice is familiar.
Okay. There's a little bit of like resignation in Nico. He was trying not to give that up when Artie was here. And he's just like, Mom, what's going on in this city? And then he starts heading out.
Running after Artie. Let's see what the rest of you rolled. Drake and Amelia. Okay. As you all begin to creep back, avoiding the splash of the waterfall, you back away. And Darla, as you rush towards the edge of the cliff face, and you see the waterfall falling down, and you look, and you see torchlight below. You see Lana. You see Amelia, and Drake, and two others that you know run with Lana. But you see something else. As everyone else moves backwards slowly. You remember in March, the night of the house party, an entire summer ago, how the cabin you were attacked, it was a robot on the loose. And you remember with fondness how your old friend Eli in the aftermath would often refer to the giant bipedal creature as a dinosaur. And at first what you see in the gorge of Eden Falls almost makes you laugh before the reality of the situation sets in, as you are joined by Artie and Nico on the edge of the cliff face, and you see this too, Nico.
As soon as
Stepping
Artie
out.
shows up, like Darla would also like kind of mama arm him and just shh.
Can you two also make stealth checks for me, please, in that case?
Could have just, damn it, Artie.
You'll be great.
So,
Baby,
Nico-
you better re-roll.
I don't want another fine. I'll be upset because no one listened and just ran off. If I fail. Ready? Watch this.
Nico's very upset right now, as looking down into the waterfall, stepping out of the wet and watery caves and into the very real 1980s, you see something large. A scaled snout pushes through the tumbling waters like curtains. From behind yellowed, pointed teeth, there emanates a soft, rumbling growl. White and brown feathers shake off moisture across an increasingly lengthening neck and sinewy back as giant, feathered arms ending in three large, curved talons grasp at the air ahead. And as the rest of its long tail comes into view, you see that each of its back legs end in a single, curved talon that taps against the stony ground. And as it reaches forward, shaking the moisture off its back and coming to its full height, Nico, a single stone falls from beneath your foot and onto the ground.
Darla looks right at that.
The creature takes you all in, and looking up at the cliff face, seeing Nico and Artie and Darla, simply roars. And that is where we are going to end this week's session.
I hate this town.
I knew it.
Well, welcome to Ed's table.
I will say, as the camera begins to fade out, someone watches from the trees. And that is actually where we're going to end this week's session.
It's the post-credit
Anyways.
scene.
It's all coming together. And I know nothing of what it means.
Yeah.